after pretty midweek. Thoughts of the week? Rating out of 10, mate. We are like breaking records technically.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I guess it was better than some of the other weeks we've had. But I mean, we are in a Champions League semi-final. Like, it's so insane to think last season when we got to this point, we were thrashing Real Madrid, feeling like uber confident against PSG, which in the end, like, kind of our old problems came across, and then now we're playing. Like, we have just played awful, but like awful in some ways, I would say. Like, I don't think awful generally in every state. Like, defensively, I think we've been the best team in the Champions League by a mile. There's definitely reasons for that, but we're going into a semi-final where I know the problem is like we are awful at the moment, but we are playing a team that I am confident against. Like I think we're the favourites for. If we get to the final, we get to the final. Anything can happen. I know that, like, you know, how we're playing right now doesn't look great, but like there is some positives. Semi-final Champions League. The first time I ever saw us get in the semi-final Champions League was last year. Technically, like, I can't really remember the one before that we got in, even though, like, I think I watched football, but I was like 6 or 7 years old, so I don't remember it like very well. But like this one, like, we're getting to Champions League semi-final doesn't happen every year, so I do think there is 2 years back to back does really show a lot of progress. So there is something to be happy about, I guess.
It's weird, isn't it? Because really, like, football is a results business. Like I said in my preview for the City game, I said, like, you know, oh no, it wasn't. It was the review of the match, of the sporting match, and I was like, yay, we've made history. You know, first time in 120 years or whatever. And then I was like, but really, it means nothing unless we go and win it. Like, we have to win it. And I think a lot of people would be like, oh, but we're not playing. Like you said about the way we beat Real Madrid, and we had a swagger to us, didn't we? We just, it's so nice. Everyone was buzzing after that. And right now, everyone's like, yeah, okay, Atleti, that's going to be a wonderful game to watch. Having said that, they have been way less defensively sound this season. Well, for a couple of seasons now. And I was looking at the amount of goals they've conceded. They've conceded way more. So maybe it won't be as drab of an affair as we're used to. But I don't know, like, the sporting game didn't fill me with that much hope for the upcoming game this weekend. And there were improvements. I think we'll probably get into it a little bit, but it was, this week was just mid, you know, like, we should be really happy with that. And instead we're just, no, it's okay. But maybe that's telling of where the club are now, like our expectations. Like, give that to us like 4 years ago, we'd be like, oh my God, we're in the semi-finals and stuff. But maybe it's because the expectations now are, we've got to go and win one of these, like, and we've got to play exciting football at the same time. Like, but what was it, 0.93 XG, I think, in total for both teams in that match, like the lowest XG of every match this Champions League campaign. So it wasn't like scintillating football, was it?
No, I mean, I don't like. The thing is, I think right now everyone is kind of united in the Arsenal fan base because they want us to play better football. But I don't really care. I just want us to play winning football. Like, I've seen these quotes all the time that, oh, Arsenal's rotations here aren't free-flowing because this player doesn't like to be in this position. I agree with this, but I don't want a free-flowing team. I don't care. I don't think Arsenal play the best when they're free-flowing. But 3-4 months ago, in December, November time, I could justify us not being the best attacking team because we were still scoring goals, like from set pieces or whatever, and we still taking chances, and we were locking out teams completely. They weren't getting any chances. When teams come at us now, whether it be on quick transitions, we're just not quick enough. We're losing runners. We're making rookie mistakes because I don't know if it's tired or fatigue or what it is, but they're not making the same decisions they were a couple of months ago. And we're giving up big opportunities in big moments. The sport game's a weird example because we were like genuinely, the game is so similar to the away leg at Sporting. Like, genuinely, everything is kind of mirrors. The first 60 minutes is boring. We don't really do a lot. Like, we get some high turnovers at the start of the game, but then don't really do much with them. Shoot from miles away. The gaps between the players are too much, in my opinion. And then, like as the game went on, we did substitutions, we got better. In the 65th minute to like the 90th, Sporting didn't have a shot. We had the whole of the ball. We didn't create anything, and that is a frustration that we will go on to, and like that is the point that we have to improve on. But it wasn't genuinely all bad. Like we kept the ball, we were decent, and then they had one shot right at the end from a throw-in that we almost gave him a goal, kind of. But it's still a shot from outside of the box at the end of the day. Like it's more scary in time. But when I watched it back, I was like, I guess it was kind of close. Like it's not really like that big. And it's like people were mentioning, oh yeah, but Sporting hit the post. Yeah, but that's like they had a volley. Like the chance
we hit the post though with that Trossard header,
and
which by the
both of
way
them
was
are
like
just chances that you didn't
it was
expect.
such a weird header that it felt like slow motion. You know, like I was like, oh, he is going to head it, and he's not heading it across the goal. And then the keeper didn't move. It was like, to me, I was like, what's going on? And then it hit the post. So how did that just happen? Like, really, that was just an odd moment.
Well, the keeper just wasn't like paying attention. I think he couldn't see. And then, I mean, we do this decision to put Trossard back post where he like disguises himself in. I just think like in this game when I watched it, I just thought like we actually were pretty controlled. There was so much rotations and there was so much risk. Like there actually was a lot of different times where you'd get Martinelli back into like the centre back position to drag a player out and move players in, like old Arsenal do. But the technical ability of this team is in the floor. Like, and it's not just, and people can blame personnel. People can be like, oh, but what do you expect? This personnel is not great. Cool, whatever. But I'm watching William Saliba mess up 7-yard passes. I'm watching Gabriel can't kick a ball. I'm watching, like just casual, easy passes by players that are consistent starters for us that have been fine for years, just mess up all the time. And it's not been, this is the big start of the problem of the last 4 months. And like, why is that happening? I think there has to be questions about how Arsenal play games. And I think it always comes back to the way that we play games and the way that games flow this season for us. Not many games this season, especially in the last couple of months. At the start of the season, there was a couple. We haven't been able to 60th minute bring all the best players off, rest. And even if we have done rotations of Saka coming off, Madueke coming on, the intensity that these guys have to play at and grind out results consistently, we were doing for 18 months. Like even last season where we weren't great, there was games we grinded out and we won games where we didn't deserve to, or not even didn't deserve to, but games where we were great for 30 minutes of a game and then scored 3 goals. And then, we're panicking, trying to defend our life for the last 30 minutes because we can't continue them leads. It's exactly the issue that Man City had so much between January, February, March time, which have kind of not had it recently. And that is going to just mentally take a toll on the players, whether it be not physically, they're not running it as much, they might be defending more, but it's clearly taken so much out of them. The intensity that we have to train at and play at every day has caused injuries. I think the amount of games that, it's not even the amount of games and the amount of minutes that Arsenal have played. It's the minutes that we have to play, like with everyone having to be concentrated, having to lock in, having to be defensive. It's very different to when England play a friendly against Serbia or they're 4-0 up and Declan Rice is just walking around. Like, so different. Like, their minutes are fine because nothing's happening. These minutes are not fine. And this is a consistent issue that I think comes down to management. I think also comes down to a bit of quality. Like, I don't think we have the quality in the attacking areas, which should have been addressed over the last couple of years, and I don't think it has. And I think this is all cultivated into the fact that the team can't play. And the balance of the front line is also a mess. And I get why Arteta.
Oh my God. If I see that front three together again, like, honestly, that Madueke, Gyökeres and Martinelli thing, I think I checked and I think we've won, hang on, I could be wrong here. I think we've won 4 games with them. We've drawn 3 and lost 2. Like, it's dreadful. There's no balance in it. There's no technical security in it. You've got Gyökeres and Madueke both dribbling off the pitch. And when Martinelli's the one keeping the ball on the pitch, I mean, I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it? I've never known a team that is in contention with winning the title, and a good 2 months before, everyone's talking about massive overhaul needed there. Like, it's mental. Like, we've risen the floor hugely, but we've got to raise the ceiling on this. And sometimes I look and I think, as much as Arteta's system isn't helping matters, like, God, he is like he has got the dregs there, hasn't he? It's for an attacking quad. We're really lacking at times. It is, it's dire.
He's doing it because, like, the reason why he plays this front three consistently is somewhat because of the injuries, but I don't really like that excuse because I do think there is other solutions. But it's purely down to the fact that he wants them to be better off the ball, which makes sense. Like at the elite level of football, every manager, and it's spoken about in tactics groups and people who do analysts, that basically every manager is going to pick someone that works harder unless you are undeniable. Like unless you're like AC Milan and you can maybe justify Leao playing if he's not going to work hard because he is your best attacker, maybe. But not many teams, especially in football nowadays, like 5 years ago, this was definitely more of the case as well, where teams would subside and be like, oh, we're going to accept that that's going to happen. Like Real Madrid broadly accepted the fact that Vinny doesn't try, but now Mbappe works way more harder off the ball. Like they have really taught Mbappe into doing these things. And I don't think Mbappe gets anywhere near the credit he deserves because Vinny still doesn't do it. And they've kind of accepted that, okay, if Vinny's not going to do it, at least he's a good counter-attacking opportunity, like Salah was for all them years. And he can run at players and create, and he is great at that. So, like, it's just very rare that you get teams that will do that. I think, like, for instance, I know Madueke still has problems, especially when sitting deeper in a block. Like the first goal against Bournemouth is a bit of him and White's fault, but that is that communication issue. And there's a few times Madueke just doesn't know who to pick up and doesn't do it quick enough. Yeah. But I think Madueke is still much more assured and reliable than obviously Dalman. Dalman's 16, he's barely playing. Like he's obviously going to expect him to defend better than him. And then when I look at Martinelli over like Trossard's not playing brilliant at the moment anyway. And Martinelli is going to work like a dog. Like he is just going.
And he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
There are times where, oh my God, the pace he gets back, like unbelievable. But yeah, sorry to cut him.
Yeah, no, and that's basically it. And it's the same with Gyökeres. Like I will talk about Gyökeres later because I do want to have. I've been speaking a lot about him recently, but I will say the one thing that I will say I've seen from him, he off the ball, he's absolutely fine. He runs a lot. He is there in the block. Like sometimes when we go in a really deeper block, I'm not sure if I like where he goes and his movements, but he usually tracks back. He's a big second jeweler when he gets down in the deeper areas, and he's a good presser from the front. So it's why Arteta played Havertz and Ødegaard for all them years, and everyone's like, Ødegaard's playing bad, you shouldn't play him. It's like, well, they're good pressers, they're good off the ball, they're intense. Like it's the reason why he plays them. And like I don't mind that in some ways if you still get balance. Like it's fine to play a Martinelli. Like I wouldn't even mind playing Martinelli on the right if you're going to play a Trossard. Like because Trossard still works hard, but at least like he's a guy that can keep the ball. Like he's on the ball, he's a lot more slower. Sometimes Arsenal need that. Like Saka and Martinelli, the best work that they had was when they obviously were both like amazing, but Saka slowed the game down and played at a pace where he could dictate it, and Martinelli just got in the box. I'm seeing like there's so much talk about Arsenal's wingers, and I was watching loads of podcasts. I was doing loads of analysis myself, and when you look where they pick up the ball, I genuinely can't justify like blaming their entire performances at the club on them. Like they pick the ball up in not only is it so wide and deeper areas, but it's the fact they've got no movement in front of them. No one's running. There's big spaces where 90% of the time with this setup we're talking about now, Gyökeres is by himself up front with 4 defenders around him, and that's it. What are they supposed to do? You're asking Madueke to go past 3 players to create a chance, and he'll do that maybe once a game, and he'll do an awful cross, and it's game over. But it's like I can't. Like as much as I can be frustrated about the end product part, it's like you should be in the area. Martinelli is the greatest example of this. Like I can justify Madueke being a bit more out wide, but Martinelli has to be in the box. Where is he the best at? And if you can't justify putting him in the box because Saka's more important, we need to profile Saka. Well, Saka's not in the team right now. Ødegaard's not in the team right now. Havertz isn't in the team a lot. Like who are we prioritizing here? Gyökeres? It seems like we're playing this system to benefit Gyökeres, and I'm sorry, he's just not good enough to do that. So, and it just doesn't matter. So, I don't know. Like, I actually feel really bad for Martinelli this season because there has been games he has been poor and he hasn't been consistent. I know people will go on about goals and assists, but I think his goals and assist stats are very fugazi. I do think he's got a lot later on in games where it's like the loads of space.
Champions League Martinelli.
Yeah, and it's like where he scored like a 1-yard tap in against Kuwait, and he scored like another 1-yard tap in against another Champions League team. Like but he just still needs to be inside the box more. And if you can't do that, then what's the point? Like, what is the point of him being there? And what, because he works hard defensively, and thank God he does that. But I just don't know. I'm very frustrated with the way that we've gone about attacking this season. I think when other teams will get into a situation when it's difficult, they will more likely prioritize trying to get the attack to work. I get defense is our best part. I've always said we should prioritize the thing we're good best at, and it's defending. But we are at this point, we actually can't kick a ball. We actually cannot on the ball. I have no belief.
It's so true though, which is horrible, isn't it? Like, oh God. Like, it's so frustrating when you're looking at build-up and you're going, okay, like, we got a little bit of rotation there, and Zubimendi was coming a little bit higher, and Declan Rice coming to the base midfield a lot more and picking the ball up, and I'm going, oh, okay, like some change. This is nice. And then you have like Saliba just make an absolute miss pass under no pressure. There's just no need for it. And you go, oh, okay. Like, oh, brilliant. And I saw, actually, speaking of Saliba, even though I think he played pretty well against Sporting. Like he's just such a good player. Like even on an off day, he is so good. But he has got into this habit now of starting to drive out of the defense and then turning back and passing back rather than making that kind of that ball between the lines. And I do think, could we see some more line splitting passes from him? Could he start doing that? And I don't know if it's instruction or if it's partly him just thinking, I don't fancy some of these passes and I don't want to lose it in these areas. And then I'm out of position. I'm not, So it's a difficult one.
Like he made a pass between the lines in this game, a very good one to Madueke, when Madueke came inside. But in the end, Madueke passed it off to like Gyökeres or something, or Eze, and then they lost the ball, and then we got countered. And it's like these situations. The problem is as well, a lot of people talk about Arsenal taking risk, and I've talked about it. But against Sporting, we took valuable risk. Like there was a good amount of risk we took between the lines. But it's like we're saying, Saliba took a risk, and he gives the ball away in a pass which, like maybe he should do. It wasn't the easiest pass. I'm not going to justify and say I've seen us mess up more easier passes, but like. It's not just the mental part of it. It's genuinely a technical ability that we just don't have at the moment. Like I'm seeing our best part. Like I just don't think Arsenal have enough from deeper areas to get out of the pitch consistently, and that is a crazy problem to have. Like Ødegaard is needed because Ødegaard is at least going to do that. And every time he plays, I know at least Arsenal are going to be calmer on the ball. We're going to slow things down and not play at this insane pace that we can't keep up with, like against Bournemouth, where we just couldn't keep up with that. And I knew before going into it, I said, they just run at us. Like we're just not a team that love that at the moment. And they're a team that love doing it. And it's like, we're going to be in a difficult situation. Like, but the problem with Ødegaard is when he plays, we have no final third creativity. Well, then we've got to play Eze or someone else. Someone's thing has to change. And I do want to say, like, Zubimendi was excellent against Sporting. Like, I think that was real needed for him. I think defensively, he was incredible. The second balls as well by Arsenal. Out of possession, Arsenal was so much better in this game. The press was better. I thought the press was pretty good against Sporting, to be fair, at times as well in the away game. But the second balls were so much better, and it was because Zubimendi and Rice were incredible at getting to them. I thought Zubimendi just genuinely, he's like his passing as well was good. There was a couple of times I wanted him to do it between the lines. There's one I mentioned in my video yesterday where 66th minute, Dalman's inside. Dalman actually peels off inside. He's got space. Zubimendi looks at him for ages. The longer he takes, he knows it's not gonna be a pass on. Then he ends up passing the ball back to Gabriel. Gabriel lofts it long, and then Havertz just loses it. And I'm like, well, that's why you take the risk in the first place if you're gonna lose the ball anyway. Like, what's the point? But most of the time, he did really good passes. He was really physical, and the second balls were so much better in this game. Our out of possession play was so much better because of one player, I think, and it's Piero Hincapié. Yeah. Like, 1 minute into the game, he's in the center of the park doing a tackle, getting us on the counter. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, he's got it. And all the first half, if anyone's watched the game back, like the first half, Hincapié is everywhere. Every second ball, he's super, super aggressive. He's super like fast in the midfield. And he's the only player that seems to have the energy to run at the moment, especially in the back line. And that is so needed. So I for his first game back from injury, like I praise Hincapié a lot for that.
Mate, he looks so good. I'm glad you said that because he's someone I picked out. For me, he was the man of the match. Like, I think Zubimendi was great. I think Eze was the one player trying to make things happen in the final third. I think Mosquera, like, although little dodgy moment when he put his hands on the back of Sporting player, and I thought, oh my gosh, especially in the Champions League, you are asking for trouble. But I think Hincapié was just so good. I will say, though, he looked dead on his feet towards the end of the game. I don't know if you saw him. He looked, there was one part where he like belted up the line and he was just dead. He was just like, couldn't move. Like, it's frustrating because there are improvements, but there's not enough improvement to make me feel really confident for the City game. And that's what we need. And like, I do want to say, actually, because you, while I've brought it up on my phone. So you talked about the amount of minutes in the legs and the fact that Hincapié looks like one of the few players with some energy. On Instagram, there was a stick to football little kind of short that came up, and it was of Gary Neville saying, I don't understand what's happened with the English teams. Why have we not got more teams? It's a failure, blah, 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 blah. And I thought about it at first, and I went, well, hang on, we have got Arsenal in it, so we have got an English team out of the 4 remaining teams. May I add? There's only 4, so one of them is English, and then one of them is from the French league, one of them is from the German league, and one's from the Spanish league. So it's not like they're all La Liga teams, and we're suddenly going, oh, La Liga is completely taken over, blah blah. So, and then I went, but we play so much football. Like, I know you hate the League Cup. I feel that we've probably really got too many teams in the league as well. Maybe we get rid of an extra one this season. Can we put that rule in now, just in case, in case Spurs do fluke 3 points out of nowhere? But, we play a lot of football. So I replied on it, and I never reply. So I did reply, and I put, well, games played. Arsenal 54, Atleti 51, Bayern and PSG 46. We have played 8 more games than Bayern and PSG. And they're the 2 teams that ironically look really kind of energetic. And then someone replied to me saying, reduce the number of teams. And I said, yeah, happily. And he said, compare the minutes played by players, not the entire squad. And I said, well, I haven't got really time. However, I do know that players that have played over 3,000 minutes so far, PSG have only got 3 in the whole squad, 1 being their goalkeeper. And then you've got Bayern and Atleti have got 5. We've got 7. And we've got a couple of other players that are just off 3,000. Like, the amount of minutes in the legs. And don't get me wrong, that's not just a Premier League thing. That is part of the rotation from Arsenal. And we definitely should be using, all the subs. We never, ever use all subs. And the other thing is we're not bringing players off towards the end of the game. Like, just give them 10 minutes rest. Like, as it starts to add up incrementally over the course of the season. But like, we are playing so much football. It is bonkers how much we're playing. And whether it is in the Champions League, whether it's in, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Premier League, it adds up. And it does, take an effect on the team. Let's go for a couple of comments before we carry on, mate. So, all the 7s. Lateness is greatness. Yeah, I will put my hand up and say it is my fault. It usually is, to be honest, my fault. 1, Reece didn't get the invite. And then 2, I had a nice sit down and a paella. So sat down and had, chicken prawn paella. Lovely. Cecilio, hello, mate. Hope you're well. Hope it's all good there in Brazil. 610 Vegas. This team needs 1 trophy. The pressure of not winning something is so overwhelming at the moment. Constant media and social media pressure. We just need that first win, like 100%. And then he goes on to say that all the backward passes are coming from having a centre forward who can't hold on to a ball and can't pass to anyone. Sorry, but I'm at the point where Victor is, and needs selling. I mean, you actually inspired me this week, Reese. I'll be honest. So I saw you put out a tweet about Havertz, and then I sat and I was in bed and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to write a thread. I rarely do them. I need to do them more because I've always got something internally spinning around in my head, and I should probably get that out as much as often it is madness. And I thought, do we keep Gyökeres? Do we get rid of him at the end of the season? Because it's a really difficult situation where he is not facilitating the other attackers in our team. He is not helping us kind of take the pressure off the team. And we've seen that, especially when we go long. Like, has he won a header this year? I don't know. And then at the same time, I feel quite sorry for him. Like, his goal return in a really dysfunctional attack when he was kind of thrown in from the beginning, it's pretty good. Like, it's one of the better returns on a first season for Arsenal, and it's not like we are set up for him. But do we have to look at the end of the season? And I know we kind of talked about it last week because there was this idea of if we get in an Alvarez, then one of Havertz or Gyökeres has to leave. Now at the time, we both were like, well, Jesus is leaving. Why can't you just keep both? And I know we've only had Gyökeres for a season, but I'm starting to go, could he be a make weight in that kind of deal? Could he be better in a Simeone system? Is Alvarez, would he be better in a 2? Or should we just be going next season, we keep him, but he just ends up as a rotational option, someone good in Europe, someone good against lesser teams. And he's always fit, so you can bring him on, but bringing him on at the end of games as a finisher. What are your thoughts on him in particular? Because I know you want Havertz, the same as me, to start this City game, but the future of Gyökeres, where do you really, for you, where should it lie?
I just don't think it's ever going to work at Arsenal. And I don't even think that's necessarily on him. I just don't think, at the start of the season, I was confident because I thought, if they're getting him, Arteta is willing to change his ideas up and willing to find ways to make it work. I'm sorry, but Arteta is just not a good enough manager at this point in time to get Gyökeres to work in the Premier League. I'm not saying it's an easy job. I'm not saying Gyökeres is exactly as, I don't think he particularly is set up for the Prem. He's a bit like a at the end of the day, Gyökeres is not a great technician. He can't pass the ball, which I've said multiple times this season. Physically, he can't keep up, which unfortunately is kind of where the league is at. Now, when it comes down to finishing and shooting, he's one of the best players in the world. Sometimes some players are so individually good at one thing that is absolutely fine. And his is finishing. He is just an incredible finisher. You put him in a league which isn't the Prem, like the Bundesliga, he's probably going to score 30, 40 goals. I wouldn't put that against it. But the problem is, well, it's not just the Premier League. It is also us as a team. We are the slowest building team in the league, basically. We are probably the least susceptible to actually doing counters in the league, which is something that I know he's struggled with physicality in one-on-one of duels, which has been a big problem, but I still don't think we're a team set up for it. And we are a team that largely, people always, I hate this whole idea because when a team wins, a lot of teams like to do what that team does. I completely get that. But I've seen so many comments being like, I hope Man City win this league because if Arsenal win, that shows a bad thing. I'm sorry, but no one in this league is really playing like we do at the moment anyway, other than the set pieces, which is a big point of it. And set pieces people have taken on from us. No one plays like we do. Everyone plays quick, fast counters. Even City do. Liverpool don't as much anymore, but they did. Tottenham do. All these big teams, top 6 teams do that. Newcastle are probably the team that play the simplest to us, and they've struggled a lot this season because they can't break down low blocks. Wow, we've been there as well. We understand. And it's one of them things. I just think I look at it and go, I think the one thing a striker needs in the Premier League right now is just strength. I think no matter what, if you're strong, I don't think Igor Thiago is the best striker in the world, but he's really, really strong. Jean-Philippe Mateta is a great example. Jean-Philippe Mateta might struggle at a lot of things, might not be the best finisher, but he is a beast. He's super strong. So he dominates his defender, and that is giving him at least somewhat of a level. Yeah, Bobby, oh man, I can't even. The revelation around this guy. I was talking to Ajax fans last year, and they were saying this guy's one of the worst strikers ever played for Ajax Football Club, and he is. He was awful for Ajax. And is he scoring goals now at an incredible rate for Sunderland? No, he's got like 6 this season, but like it's just because he's super, super strong and he can hold off his player. That's perfect for the Prem. I don't think that's perfect for other leagues. Like I think you go Bundesliga or you go maybe even a Liga, especially Serie A. You know, Gyökeres is going to thrive. Like that's more his league. I just don't think this is a league for him at all. And unfortunately, as well, I think Arsenal have tried to play to Gyökeres. I think we play a more direct style, which gives us less control, makes games more end to end, which physically we can't deal with right now. And he's not good enough at holding the ball consistently. Now, what I will say is that there is games he has held up the ball good, and he has passed the ball off still well, like Sporting at home away, for instance. He's pretty good in that game. I don't think he put much of a foot wrong. We were still crap. Like, and the big reason is because it just doesn't work with the connection of the team for whatever reason. When Ødegaard plays, Gyökeres and Ødegaard have zero chem. They just don't work. And apparently they're really good friends because they're like Scandinavian off the field. They just don't work on the field. They haven't played enough. It's not a good connection. You know, it's the same with Gyökeres. Like Martinelli and Gyökeres don't work. Like they're two runners. We need Trossard. You're only going to get Gyökeres to work, and his best performances have always been with Trossard. And Trossard's not even playing well anymore. So it's like, you know, these problems are happening around him where it's like, I can't really justify it. We have no runners in the team. Everyone was always talking about how Gyökeres needs to run and make these spaces. No one else runs. How it's so bait if you just got one player who does all the running. Like, it's just so bait. And he's going to get goals this season because at the end of the day, you know, we are one of the best teams in the country, even though we're playing awful right now on with the ball. But he's good enough to like get a couple of tap-ins or whatever, get in the right positions if he's got space. He's a great ball striker. We bought him because the whole complaint around Havertz and Mourinho is that we create high opportunities for these guys every game and they don't take them. So the idolation, I think, was that, well, why don't we just get a really good finisher? We get the same opportunities and see what happens, but we can't get the same opportunities. And I remember before when people used to speak about Havertz about a year and a half ago, and I said this thing, I literally said that I am worried what this Arsenal team looks like without a Havertz because I just don't know if we can function without him. And I get the problems of like Havertz coming down to the right wing, who's up front, but like, look, we're not a team that really attacks quickly anyway. Like, we need to play slower. And I don't know, like, I just don't think it's ever going to work. And I don't think it's just on him. I think it is on the team and him. I think he is quality wise, not what we need. But I also think there's ways that we could have got him to work. And it just isn't, if he was at City, I would probably trust them to make a little bit more worth it than the way that we play. And unfortunately, like, I would sell him. Are we going to get any offer for him? No. That's why I don't really like talking about sales that I don't think are realistic. Like, he's not going to leave. No one's going to come in for him after the season he's had. We're not going to get anywhere near the money that we paid for him. Maybe because the market is so bad. Maybe you can justify it.
You just cut your losses now, though, because goes on another season, that price is going to drop even more. But at least right now, people might just go, oh, he's got, how many, is he on 18 in total? Goals and assists, I think. So you just go, well, in this calendar year, because Arsenal, in terms of like Berta, as a selling man, he might be able to go, he is up there with, oh my gosh, Pedro as one of the, you know, best performing attackers this calendar year in the Premier League. Like in Europe, he's done pretty well. Like he's not really what we want. So, you know, if you want him, you're going to get him for about 50 mil. So, like, in that terms of things, maybe.
But that's not how transfers really work, though. Like,
yeah, I know. But
at the end of the day, the only way that a deal's going to happen, because we're not going to actively go out and say he's available to sell, because one, that looks like a failure on the recruitment team, which it is. Like, they were. There's a lot of egos about football. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of egos. How transfers happen are very ego-y, and sometimes teams don't. Like United, a great example of this. They consistently make transfer mistakes, but then they never wanted to own up to it, so they just accepted it and kept going with the same players to be like, no, this is right when it's not. And there's a lot of things about this, but like, I can't, like, as someone who knows a lot about European football, I just don't know what teams would be interested. I think an Atletico, low-key, could be a team that is interested, depending on what happens with their strikers, because Griezmann is, you know, rumoured to go to MLS. He's going to leave eventually. He's older now. You know, Sorloth is a massive dude, but he's a good, like, super sub. I always called him fat, bless him. And he's actually been really good the last 3 games I've watched him off the bench.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I'm never talking about him like negatively again, because he's actually been really good recently. So I want to, like, he's just a big guy. And like, the thing is, maybe that's a team. They would have been another option, but they've just spent 40 mil on a pendant and they're buying another striker. Like, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, maybe a Serie A club, but they don't have any money. Like, none of these clubs in Europe have money. So 50 million to any team is like a lot of money, not in the Prem.
That's
And
why
no,
I think.
no Prem team are going to sign him. So
Yeah, I think he'll stay. But that's why I kind of mentioned about a possible Alvarez swap deal. Like, I can't see it happening. Like, it wouldn't happen. But in theory, you could be like, well, Arsenal are Arsenal going to be able to put down the down payment that Atleti are going to want, because they're going to want a lot of money up front. So is that your way of kind of getting around it? But I
don't think Atleti sell Alvarez
no
anymore. They're in the
it's
Champions
so
League
difficult,
semi-final.
isn't it? But that's the type of player we've got to be going in for. We have got to work something out, because the quality at the moment in that front three it's just not good enough. It's
Well,
really
we need players that are like, we last summer, people might not like it, but we bought players that didn't fit the setup to try and give us something different. And Eze, I genuinely think is really starting to show a lot here and do a lot. But when we signed Gyökeres and Eze, even I said this, like, they're 27, 28 years of age. We know that we're not going to be able to resell them. We know that that's going to be a problem.
Yep.
We have to accept that this is a big risk, and we had to make big risks in the market, because the whole conversation has been that Arsenal just buy safe options all the time. And unfortunately, it's not worked out. And that is what happens when you take big risks in the market.
Yep.
I think when it comes to like what Arsenal should prioritize is what people won't like. People they need to prioritize different profiles, and I do think that completely. But they need to prioritize people that they know can fit in the system. People that instantly don't have to do too much work to understand the off the ball stuff. People that don't need to understand how to break down a low block. Like, and I always find the low block talk funny, because no one plays against consistent low blocks. We play so slow football that everyone plays a low block against us because it's easy and it makes sense. And,
yeah, you just
you
drop in,
walk back, and that's why, like, I hate that comparison, because everyone's like, every time a wing is linked to us, everyone's like, oh, how's he good against a low block? I mean, none of them are going to be great against low blocks, because they don't play against low blocks. So we're the only team, like, and that's why, like, people, to me, when they get confused about the whole Gordon links, is so weird to me, because Gordon's like the one guy that's played against low blocks, the consistent. He's played in the Prem, and like, he's a good crosser from deep. He's good out wide, and like, he can come inside. Like, when I look at, like, we used to speak about this about Nico Williams, about how Nico Williams wasn't the best winger in the world, and they wanted to pay us a huge amount of wages for him. But in terms of profile, it actually fit us a lot. He wanted to be out wide, he wanted to cut inside, and it's the same with Gordon. Like, and now Gordon's linked to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich are putting him in their repertoire to try and sign him. Everyone's like, oh, well, what's going on? It's not a coincidence that all these big teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, and Bayern Munich are linked with Gordon. Like, people think, oh, he's only scored 7 goals this season. Name me a winger.
75 mil though.
But that's just the money people cost.
Yeah, I guess it's the market now.
Like, people always say to me, yeah, but look at his goals. Who has scored goals who's a winger in football? Who this season? Who has scored?
Who scored goals as a striker this year?
Yeah, I mean, especially in this league.
Bar Haaland, like.
It depends what you count. What do I prioritize? 7 Premier League goals or 14 goals in the Bundesliga? Well, I mean, I would kind of prioritize the 7 goals, but you never know. It's all guesswork, and it's all based on data and watching players, and people just don't know. It's the same with Madueke. Madueke had 7 goals last season. He's not even going to get that this season. Like, and I think
Winery got more than him, didn't he? Like, and then we're looking at over 50 mil on a player that, I mean. The ironic thing with Gyökeres is that he could genuinely become like a cult hero. If we go on to win the Premier League, people will look at it and go, well, he has basically led the line and he has scored the most goals, and then we have won the league. So, like, in that kind of respect, but we've got to be looking kind of bigger picture, haven't we? We've just got to be looking at, what is best for the team. And as much as, he is, and he damn well tries. Like, there's never a question of application. Like, he is always running his socks off. He's always like harrying and harassing players. Like I love him for it. But we're just not the right team for him, and it's not the right league for him, really. But there we go. Let's have a little look through some of the comments. I will bring up. Do you know what? I'm going to bring up Knight of Universe 777. Because, mate, I can see you are a City fan. And he's saying Victor Gyökeres will turn to wood against Manchester City. Man City's defence will not give space to him. Mark my words. Now, to be honest, mate, I completely agree. Like,
he won't play, hopefully.
but neither of us want him to play. And he's not turned up against any of the big clubs at all. So, like, I don't completely agree with you, mate.
I don't think he plays.
And then all the 7 says we should have gone for João Pedro. Less money, better player. Like, yeah. Like, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because you've then got someone put earlier about Sesko. Like, we should have got Sesko. And just to clarify as well, just Tom, hope you're well, mate. Reece was not sleeping. This is his awake time, 9 o'clock. He's all good at this time. Here's a good link though from 610. The young German player who played up front for Bayer Leverkusen would suit us and the Prem. Best hold-up player I've seen in a while. Now, I presume he means Kafane, who is a really interesting profile, but in the second leg, he was nowhere near as effective. But it's so hard because you're asking these really young players to come in and, play for Arsenal. Like, I like Junior Krupi, but
Krupi's
asking
great.
him to come in, and I really like Diamonde. I talked about him, and I think if you got a Gordon as well, like I don't know how much money that's going to set you back, but that's like 2 really interesting profiles on the left there. But it's so.
I know who I want Arsenal to look at as striker, and every Arsenal fan, and this is a big issue about it. People just don't really get like players, like they just don't. The 2 players that I'm going to say right now, everyone's going to be like, no, but I actually genuinely think they'd be better than Gyökeres, and they're
one
going to
of
be better.
them plays for Bayern Munich, and he's called Kane. And then the other one.
It's funny you say that because one of them does play for Bayern Munich, but he's not Kane.
Oh.
Well, I want to say, before I preface what I'm going to say, I do want to say that, like, it's better to buy players.
Wait a minute, are you talking about another Chelsea player?
We just have to, because the most important thing about football is we need to get.
Oh my God, the scenes though.
Yeah, well, Arsenal fans need to suck it up, really, because if not, we're gonna force the club to make a deal like Gyökeres again. It's gonna be crap. Like I'm so done with going with this whole like herd mentality, because sometimes I get sort of into, like, last year I was saying things like this and people were like, no, and I was like, I even built it up in my head. I was like, oh, okay, I can understand it working, but it's just not. We are a tactical team. We are a very tactical team. We need players that are going to work in the tactics, that are going to bring something different. Not players that like, oh, we can score goals, let's bring them in. I don't care. That's not enough. I'm sorry. We're at the elite level of football. Like, that is just not close enough thing. What I'm going to say to preference this is that, like, we need to start buying. If Arsenal need to buy severe players this season, we need to buy players whose stock is really low but can be better. And I know people are going to be like, yeah, but we can't do that at our stage. But why don't we just buy players that have potential, who are good, who have also shown some good quality on the low? I've seen people talking about Rafael Leao about this recently. Like, Rafael Leao's stock is in the absolute muds right now because he's been bad. AC Milan don't want him. I don't think Arsenal should be the team to get him, because I just don't think, like, watching Eze and watching Gyökeres even more, and watching some of our players out of possession struggle, I just can't see it ever working. Like Leao, and I just don't think he's been good enough in 4 years now to justify. But unless it's if it's like 30 mil, say Milan are trying to get rid of him, I don't think we should be the team to risk him. But someone will, and they'll probably get good work out of him. That's fine. Like, that's what you've got to accept, that you've got to buy players when their stock is really low. Like Cavaminga's one that people have been talking about. Cavaminga's stock is really low right now because he's had,
especially after that last performance. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have got red carded. I think that is stupid refereeing. But like when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, he has problems in his game. He hasn't necessarily like ironed them out. But like, yeah, for 40 mil, I'd be like, I'd take the risk. He's great. Like, remember last year we were like a couple of months ago, we were talking about Kobe Minu, and everyone's like, nah, Kobe Minu's not good. I was like, Kobe Minu's a good player, man. If you get him for 20, 30 mil when they don't want him, I'd take that risk. Like, he is worth it. Like, these players are. And there's two players that I've always been very fond about. And a lot of analysts are fond about them. They are like the typical nerd players that people like, but normal people who watch football are going to be like, they're bad.
Tacticos.
One of them is Nicholas Jackson. I think Chelsea played better with Nicholas Jackson. I think I think João Pedro has now got into that role really well, but Nicholas Jackson is better than
Look at Cole Palmer.
Well, yeah,
Like-
Cole Palmer is better with Nicholas Jackson, 100%, and Madueke, because Nicholas Jackson is a really good carrier. He's very strong. He can hold up his defender, and he's really, really fast. The one thing Arsenal need is pace, and he has that. He can run in behind centrally. He makes your team want to play more centrally, quicker with Palmer and what Chelsea did, because he does that. And Nicholas Jackson, yes, he's going to miss chances, and this is what people look at: the fact he isn't clinical enough, and he misses so many chances. But at the end of the day, how does he get them chances? Because he's really, really super quick, and he gets in the areas. We don't even have that right now. We can't even get in the box and create a chance. Like. I don't know if they were like to us. I know people would be upset because it's Chelsea, but if they said to us, Chelsea were like, okay, well, he's just gone to Bayern. Bayern played him, by the way. Bayern have played him as like this 10, false 9, second striker role, which is interesting. And apparently, I haven't watched Bayern too much of him in the team because he's been in and out of it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. And like, genuinely, if they were like to us, okay, you need to buy a left winger, 70 mil. Let's say that's the broad price for a left winger. We need to buy a central midfielder, 20. Like, I don't know how much we're going to pay a central midfielder, but like 40, 50 mil. We'll say 40 mil to cut it in the middle, and say we want to buy a right back, that's 30, 40 mil as well. We're not got much money. If we need a striker still, if Jesus is leaving, if they said to us, give us like 30 mil for him, he's still not even that old, I'd be like, I'd take it. The other player that I think needs to be saved, get this guy out of Saudi Arabia. And I do not care what anyone says. Darwin Núñez, I'm doing it again. I've done it every year. But Darwin Núñez is a good player. He just can't finish. But he has undeniable quality. He makes games chaotic, and he's a profile of player that we just never have had. And I just think sometimes that is needed.
He is the absolute chaos merchant, isn't he? Like,
he's a lot more harder to get because like wages wise, like he's in Saudi. There's all these difficulties around that, and I don't know who would have. I reckon Jackson would have more backlash against because he's Chelsea, rather than Núñez. But I've always been very fond of Núñez. Is Núñez going to be your best player in the world? Is Núñez even good enough to maybe win you a Prem? Maybe not individually, but we're not asked. We need to stop looking at strikers in a mold that they're going to carry us to the Premier League title. The way that we're going to win a Premier League title, even this year, is going to be through the setup and the team as a collective unit. Gyökeres might get that top goal scorer for us and might win the Premier League title. And I think without him, if you just put someone else there, we probably still would have done the same, like respectfully to him. And I think when I look at that, I just go, is there in some games when Arsenal need a little bit of sporadic nature, a little bit of something different? Do we have that? No. Is Núñez going to bring that? Yeah. Is he going to be consistent? No, he's not at all. And that's probably why like they don't want him. But we've got non-consistent players in the team now where I'm like, I can justify it a little bit. I think I'm actually like big. Like I just think if we're not, I don't think we're going to get a striker this summer. I don't think the market's good enough. I think Nicholas Jackson, to me, genuinely wouldn't even be a bad signing if the price is fine. If they want like 50 mil, I can understand a bit more and push back on that. But Chelsea won't want him. He probably won't want to be at Chelsea. He's a good player. His stocks are low. I mean, his stocks aren't that low, but his stocks are low in terms of the club he's at. Like, I don't know, man. I know people will not be happy, but I don't know. I don't think it would be the worst decision in the world because we're not going to pay 90 mil for Krupi. Like, we're just not. Like, we're not paying 90 mil for Alvarez. Like, we need a left winger. Like, is what it is.
I am going to just put a little poll up for this because I think it's necessary. So let's put it up to everyone. I'll put a little poll. I've never done this before either. Put a little poll. So I've just taught myself how to do that. I'm quite proud of myself at my old age. By the way, I'm so disappointed still that unk means unk. Uncool. I still haven't got over that since.
Well, no one says it like in that quotation, but that was where it first came from.
I'm worried they are saying that though, Reece.
Oh, I say
the poll is up though, guys. Make sure you go in the poll. And
no one's gonna want Jackson. I know what Arsenal fans are like. I know. I remember last year I did a stream. I think it must have been this time last year, and we went through all the striker opportunities that we could get in the summer. And I remember I mentioned Jackson, and the whole chat were like, no. And I was like, I get it. I get the why the people don't like Jackson. I also get the whole Chelsea thing as well. But like I just like in the desperate situation we are in, I just don't think if the money's that bad, it's that bad of an option. He's also quite versatile. He can play on the wing because he's quick. He can play an attacking midfielder. I mean,
he's better option than Jesus. And having said that, Jesus actually did himself proud against Sporting. His little cameo was really good because I put a tweet out straight away saying it's 2026. Like, come on, let's think outside the box here. And then, to be fair to him, he was one of the few players with some technical security and like turned his man, like went on to the centre backs, made it a bit more difficult for them. Like he had a really good
against Bournemouth. He was he was really good as well. Like we lost that game, so people aren't really going to talk about it. But he was actually taking the last 15 minutes. Every time we went forward, Jesus would literally come deep and just dictate the attack, playing as a central midfielder.
Just Tom coming in. I know Ford is thinking, but Reece is drunk. Nunez or Jackson, help
Listen,
me.
We've got Gyökeres. I don't like we're in the mud right
Isn't
now.
That so funny though? Could you imagine having a trio of Havertz, Gyökeres, and Jackson? Like no one's gonna be like, that's my man.
Yeah,
that's
the only
my
person
boy.
that would do anything is Jackson. The thing is though, like. I just think, like last year, we were talking about Šeško and Gyökeres, and I can't lie. I remember I spoke to a lot of Arsenal fans in public, and they went, considering we're trying to win a title, going for them two strikers just seems like a level below us. And I was like, yeah, it does. Because Šeško and Gyökeres aren't at that level either, really, at the moment. But it's just like the market is awful. We genuinely are in a situation where if we can get a cheap save option, but the thing we need to focus on, and more importantly, is dribblers and pace. And carriers, I don't know about carriers. We've done all that. I just think we need we just need pace. We just need pace. Pace is the one thing we need. If we get a left winger who's quick and can dribble, I'm happy. I don't care. If we could get a striker that can at least come off the bench and be quick and it's not asking to start every game. This is the thing with Jackson. I think he'll accept sitting on the bench for Havertz. Like that's fine. I actually find that fine. I actually kind of like that. Like I think. In some games, you want Havertz to play in the big games, and then against like smaller teams, just outpace them. Jackson, I don't know. I think Jackson could work, man. I don't know. I'm big on Jackson. I think he's a good player.
Mate, that is your best analysis I have ever heard. That's so good. Just the pace. Done. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to take this from all the sevens. Combine Nunez and Gyökeres, and you get Haaland. Now, it is really funny though because. Looking at a left wing profile, if you put like Trossard and Martinelli together, I'd love it. Like someone with a little bit of an ego from Trossard, a little bit more close control, like able to like get into those areas, a bit more clever with his like actual, where he's going. I think Martinelli's like a headless chicken sometimes. Martinelli, like just some like pace to burn, like always willing to do the dirty work, but. But you're so right. Like, we need a whole front three. And Saka's got a poor injury record too. Like, just sometimes it's a little bit.
And we need cheaper options. It's the only way it's going to happen. It's the only way it's going to.
Nah, we just go out. Like, this is the plan. We just go out. Gyökeres and Havertz both go. All right, they both go. As does Leandro Trossard. As does Martinelli, just the whole lot, and Jesus, they've all gone. 5 of them gone. Then what happens is we get in Gordon, we get in Alvarez, and we then go, right, okay, we've got a main 3 there. It's okay. And then just in case, we go and get Kvaratskhelia, and then we go and go in for someone nice and easy, like a Krupi. Lovely.
Just play Saka up front, to be honest. That would be my contingency plan.
I'm really coming round to the idea.
You can't, just play him up front, man. And I mean, and then he could just play on the right half channel anyway. Like he can move into that area. It's not going to be perfect. I wouldn't do it every game, but like I definitely like you could even play him in attacking midfield if you want to. Sometimes you could drop deeper, like even that, or you play Ethan as a false nine. Like there has to be some like if Jesus leaves and we don't buy a striker, which I think is likely to happen. I would hope that he decides to play Saka or Ethan as an option.
I think
as a false
Ethan would
nine.
be a really interesting like third striker. Like,
Yeah, I just wonder if he's strong enough to deal with it. Like, I just don't know if physically he can keep up. I know Saka can, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think he has to do one of them things. I still am not up for selling Ethan or imagine like we sold Ethan and bought Jackson. Like people would be pissed. Like at the end of the day, we're probably not going
that's
to
a
buy a
big
striker.
statement.
We have to use one of them as a striker or winger or something because you don't want to play Ethan as a winger. Downman's there, Madueke's there. Like, there's too many players in this right half space. That are even youngsters or newly joined. So it's like, just move one of them to striker and it'll probably be okay. But I'm not loving our striker options going into next season being like Gyökeres, Havertz, and like maybe Saka. like it's not great for a team that's trying to win the league, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I don't know. Can you, unless you go, Eze's moving out to the left, and you go in for like a Nico Paz or something? But I mean, again,
yeah,
the likelihood of that.
But then Ødegaard would have to leave or something. And I did think Ødegaard was going to leave, but now like watching us play without him and not being able to progress the ball for 3 months, I'm like, probably not going to leave, is he really? At this point, he's probably going to stay.
Oh, mate. Do you know what? Let's get into the City game then, because that kind of brings us on nicely with Ødegaard. I said to you before I went live, so there is a preview, like a general preview. I've also recorded a full tactical preview for this, something I never really get time to do. But having a day off today has been lovely. And my family have been so, like, honestly, I'm so lucky, like, that my other half of my children just go on, go do a video. Just, yeah, Daddy, go do a video. It's been bliss. Like, I am so lucky. So, yeah, sat down, did a whole video, and then started getting like all the crazy thoughts in my head out. So I'm interested to see what you think, Reese, because I also know you will be as delightful and honest as always with some of my ideas. So it'll be interesting. So let's bring it up. All right. So I have got the JLA tactics board here.
Oh,
there it is. So the Man City lineup is kind of a given at the moment, which is a bit odd. Playing more or less a 4-2-4, especially out of possession. Turkey being that kind of free role, but sometimes being up with Haaland. Doku, you know, his dribbling's unreal. O'Reilly kind of going as a box crashing inverted left back. Like, I mean, he was amazing against us. And ironically and annoyingly, he is going to be fit, it looks like, in this game. Semenyo, should we have gone for him? Oh, won't go into that. But I do want to highlight the Silva and Rodri thing. Like, for a league that has gone so transitional and so physical, they have been incredible simply because they are just so intelligent. Like, they have been so good. And we have got to work out a way of beating this 4-man press and also stopping Silva and Rodri from blocking the passing lanes. Because previously, when we had Zubimendi on the ball, they were just all the time, every time, blocking those passing lanes. And it just became a nightmare. So I had a little think about this, mate. And the first thing was the lineup. So David Raya in goal. Happy with that?
I don't know. Maybe we should experiment Kepa again because that went really well last time.
Because, yeah, he has a fantastic performance last time. Can you put just Tom? No. Do you know what? I said on the Different Not Plus, I was on TDK Plus on one of the, it was on the squad, on the main pod. And the boys were going through who we should play against Southampton. And I refused to put Kepa in. I was adamant, no Kepa. I don't want to see him anymore. I don't want to see him on the bench. I don't want to see his face. I'm that annoyed with him. Anyway, David Raya in goal. Saliba and Gabriel, obviously, as the centre-backs. I think Mosquera was excellent against Sporting. Yeah, that little wobble, but in general, he's been really good. And I think against Doku one-on-one, he's got the pace to kind of at least keep up with him and make it difficult. And we've seen Ben White at times get cooked. He's just not filled me with any confidence. And especially with what happened last time is they were doing those balls right over the top, weren't they? To the far post for especially Nico O'Reilly coming in. So I think Mosquera would be my choice up there. And Hincapié simply because of his performance in Sporting. He was so good. Like we said, in the second balls, he was amazing. I do wonder if we'll be hampered by him going forwards. And Calafiori is so good at coming in those half space areas. But I think at the moment, I would start with Hincapié out there. Fine with that at the moment?
Well, I don't think he's going to play Mosquera, to be honest. I think White will play.
For experience or for more tactical nuance?
A little bit of both. Like, I think we saw a lot in the Sporting game of Mosquera inverting, which was kind of funky. I don't know if I loved that, but it was all right. I thought Mosquera was decent, but I think the problem is in this game, if Arsenal have any chance of building up successfully, we have to be brave and we have to be good on the ball in deeper areas. And I know Ben White is not always the best as well, but Mosquera is prone to making mistakes in this position. Like at right back, I do think it's nullified a little bit compared to centre back, but I just don't think the game of this magnitude, he's going to risk that because I know what Arteta's like. And I also don't think I would. I would just hope Timber's back. We still don't know. We still don't know because Timber and Ødegaard are iffy. Like they could be ready. And that will change my opinion about what we should start. Calafiori and this left back thing, I got to admit, for this left back is probably the most undecided position I personally have. I really don't know who I would play because I think there is a benefit for the off the ball, out of possession thing that Hincapié is going to bring. But I also think that is a very negative way of looking at it. But I also understand that Arsenal's biggest benefit in this game is the game state. We don't need to win. They do. That is the biggest benefit we have. So maybe we just put a Hincapié in there and go crunch him, tackle him. He is going to bring that aggression. He's super physical. And then you bring Calafiori on later. I don't mind that. I think that's what he will do. Personally, I think that's what he would do. But I think Calafiori is just much more if we play Calafiori, the build-up's going to be so much better. We won't have the same issues that we had in the Carabao Cup final. And the biggest issue, I think the fullbacks are some of our most important positions in this game because they need to get out. They need to play wide and they need to be able to receive the ball quick and even carry it into the space. I don't mind Hincapié doing that as much. I think he can do it, but I'm not Calafiori's just better. And Calafiori's movements into midfield are better as well. And it helps one of the centre midfielders drop deeper. So I would play Calafiori, but I think he's going to play Hincapié. I also think he will play Ben White and I would play Ben White, but everything else is fine.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? I think I would, start with Hincapié simply because he looks so energetic as well. But I think if we can keep it as close as we possibly can and as tight as we can, something we've been really unable to do as of late. It's been really uncharacteristic for us. And then Calafiori later on. Huh?
I would consider this is going to be crazy and I'm going to get shouted at for this, but which is probably deserved. But
no,
I think Calafiori has to be considered at some point as centre back. I just don't think Gabriel's playing very well. But the problem is that this is the game that you don't do that in because obviously Gabriel needs to be on Haaland especially and man marking, which he's quite good at. But in other games, I really, really do think if Calafiori's back fit, we have to consider him playing centre back. I can't. We play Newcastle after this. I would highly because I don't think Newcastle have a great striker at the moment, and they've been they're playing William Osulu, but I don't think Calafiori can't deal with Osulu. So I just think in games in the future there has to be a consideration to play Calafiori in centre back if Hincapié's fit. Obviously but then you could play Miles as a backup at left back. So I think it works. Personally, I think that's how you use the squad a little bit better, and I think it might help us in build up, but not in this game.
Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? I was thinking about that Hincapié thing still. My mind's still on it because I think if Nketiah is playing exceptionally well and Gabriel isn't great, there is the option of actually bringing him in now and then going, do you know what? Let's play through the lines. Let's let Calafiori do what we've bought him to do, essentially. I remember that Bayern Munich game last year, and no, was it last year? 2 years ago now. And Calafiori was really the one player that you think, oh, he would be perfect for that. But yeah, right now, I think they have to start that. We do have the problem of Núñez, because Núñez was playing that kind of hybrid role coming inside. And Cherki was actually rotating out to the right-hand side. Trossard didn't know whether to go here and block the passing lane here or to come back with Semenyo. And a lot of the time, what was happening is he was coming in here, and then we ended up with this 1v1 of Hincapié Semenyo. And it was an absolute nightmare. And we've got to make sure that we are really really good at Eze's got to be coming across, Havertz's got to be coming. There's so many issues before we even think about ourselves and how we attack them. But a key here, and this is kind of going back to your Ødegaard thing, is Zubimendi, if he is picking up the ball and he's building up, as I said earlier, and these passing lanes are getting blocked into Eze and Rice, can we see more of a double pivot so Eze becomes kind of more of a pairing with Havertz and more central as a proper 10? Is that something that we can do? Or do you want to see Rice more as a DM and then Zubimendi coming forward a bit more, which he was kind of doing against Sporting a bit more and having that more freedom? What do you want to see? And then I'll go on with my other option in a minute.
I think in terms of build up, being in a double pivot is fine. One of them is going to have to drop deeper into the centre backs. We just didn't do that enough.
For you, who would that be?
I would rather it be Rice. I also think that I don't like a double pivot off the ball when we lose it from high, lose it high up the pitch. I don't like it. I think actually, as the season's gone on, playing this double pivot has been awful. I think it's got worse and worse and worse because I just don't think that when they sit, one of them has to be aggressive, in my opinion, and you take the risk that, you might have some space in behind. I think against Sporting, the one thing that was good was the fact that Rice was rotating with Zubimendi as sole sixes. There was times later on in the game when we're defended in a block where they are going to be in a double pivot. That's fine. That's going to happen when you sit deeper and deeper. And that will happen in this game when Man City inevitably get on the ball more. But I think that Rice and I just want Rice to play deeper than Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi's better. I think when we've got a lot of the ball and we're able to push teams back, I don't mind Zubimendi being a bit deeper than Rice because Rice has better movement sometimes in the block. But Zubimendi's a better rider behind the final third in these big key areas. And I think he's a better player within the final third than Rice. So I would rather Rice be deeper. And I think Rice is a better long passer. So that's what I would do. I think I was actually so out on Zubimendi even starting this game. I was so after the Bournemouth game, I did not want to see Zubimendi start this game. Then he had a fantastic game against Sport, and so he's back in there for me. But I was so down to play Miles in midfield. I did not care.
Yeah, this is my left field thought, a very left field. Can we do this, where Ødegaard is helping Declan Rice, and Declan is playing as a true six? Letting Ødegaard get into build up, because he is one of the players that can help us build up. He is one of the few players that got that technical security and able to make us a little bit more fluid and playing with Eze. You don't have to have him kind of as the Silva and De Bruyne kind of midfield, but can he kind of come there? Is that an option? Can they be a bit more lopsided? I just think if Zubimendi is starting to really struggle, and we know that Arteta doesn't really trust Norgard, for me, I just think, is that the one time where you roll the dice and you go, do you know what? I'm going to get one of my best players on the ball on the pitch alongside Eze, because we know really at this moment in time he is running that attack on his own. I dread to think what it'd be like if he was out, and then we didn't even have Ødegaard either. Like, that's kind of curtains for this match for me. But like, is that me just going absolutely mental as always?
Well, it's just game state dependent. Like, if we're losing, then he will do this. He did this against Newcastle away, and I think it was one of our best attacking performances of the season later on in the game.
Did we try it against, was it West Ham, and then he got injured?
Yeah, we tried it against West Ham for 30 minutes, and Ødegaard came off. But I think if Ødegaard's fit, he should start. Like, for me, he's in my team 100%. But I just move Eze to the left. Because I know there's been a lot of pushback on that, and I know that, like, oh, he hasn't done it, so why would he do it in this game? But I actually think sometimes not only the front three that we play against Sporting, he cannot do. He physically cannot do that front three, and he should know that he can't do that front three. So that
he should have known that before then. Though.
I guess, yeah. But like against Sporting, like I guess it's like start Dalman, and then is it like going to be that much better? Like, I don't know, really. Like I don't really think there was that too many options in that Sporting game specifically. But like I just think for this game specifically, we need Eze and Ødegaard to be on the pitch together. I could probably, if Ødegaard's on the pitch, we will be better at controlling the game. So maybe if we can get to a point, which this is much more likely what Arteta's going to do, by the way, like play Ødegaard, keep it tight, keep it calm, and then later on in the game, you bring your Eze's on and then try and get space. But that is so risky to do against a City team that can and probably inevitably will put us in a low block at times and will just keep peppering the goal. Like, I think that is going to be moments in this game that happens. They are good at that. I just think what I would do is play Ødegaard in midfield. I would play Eze on the left. I would do that because I think he might. I think this is the game where he might try this a bit more.
On left wing, do you mean, or on the left side of midfield?
Left wing, and then play Zubimendi, and that's what I mean. Yeah, because I think this is one game that Eze could actually do this in because of the injuries. Eze has just got naturally better off the ball as well, and there is better positions. Maybe he doesn't. He probably doesn't do this, but I think he should consider it because. Like, I just think this is our best opportunity. I think Ødegaard and Eze have to play on the pitch together. I think Arsenal's, at the moment, with the injuries we have and the team that we have in the possession, the best way we're going to be good at is this team right here, probably. Like, I just don't see much more that we can do. And we need Ødegaard to progress and carry and calm the game down, especially in a hard atmosphere that's going to be. And we need Eze to give us some final third control. I just think, I mean, if he doesn't do this, then I don't know if Eze starts fully, like if Ødegaard starts. I think Trossard can start, I guess, in this game. Martinelli has to start somewhere. Like, he has to play on the right or the left. Martinelli's the only out ball that we have. He can actually run in behind. He's actually got a pretty good record against City. He's, like, pretty good against them. But he's always a runner. He can track back as well. He's going to be doing that well. And, like, a lot of people keep saying about, like, O'Reilly, and it's like, oh, is Martinelli going to track him? That's not what's going to happen here. O'Reilly needs to be tracked by Zubimendi. That's the biggest important thing. Zubimendi will be picking up O'Reilly.
I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, 100%. Sorry. Like, I'm so glad you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking as well. Like, I think Martinelli will be out on the right. Yeah. I don't know if Madueke is going to be fit, and I just don't trust him enough. Like, I think what he'll go with, for me, what Arteta will do is he'll probably go with this, I think.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think I would have Mosquera there. Is he going to play Gyökeres? Like,
Nah, he can't.
Because he's played him so much.
He can't. Like, genuinely, this is where I get to the point of, like, unless there is some sort of injury or something we don't know, fair enough. But, like, my genuine opinion is if Arteta plays Gyökeres up front instead of Havertz, then he has absolutely thrown the title. I genuinely think that. I think this is... If we lose and we play a team which is, like, somewhat encouraging and we lose because stuff happens, I'm much more willing...
Do you know what?
People won't, but I'm much more willing to give him the benefit of the doubt than if he plays Gyökeres up front. What do we expect? Havertz has to play up front. There's no if or buts about it. He has to play up front. I'm so
I have a horrible feeling.
I think he's going to play Havertz up front.
Horrible feeling that we're going to see this again.
Well, I don't think we will, because like Eze's played against Sporting and was pretty good at it, like trying to do something. I don't like, unless Eze's not fit, he's not going to not play him for the biggest game of the season. And then like so and like with the whole Havertz and midfield thing, like Havertz played in midfield later on in the game against Sporting, but he came on up front, and that's when I thought, okay,
Yeah.
he's definitely when I saw him come on up front against Sporting, I was like, okay, I think he's got an idea that he's going to play Havertz up front, because he hasn't done it too much. That is obviously the idea he's spoken about in the past, about how we needed Havertz for the big games. This is the big game. This is the game to bet. Gyökeres has also played a lot of minutes recently, more than Havertz, more than these players. It doesn't make any
More
sense to
than
play Gyökeres.
most of them, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to play. I think he will play Eze and Havertz. I think this is the team he'll play as well. I agree. Maybe he plays Madueke on the right if he is fully fit instead of that. But then it's like, are we like? I don't. The problem is, if Madueke plays, I want Martinelli to play anyway. So then I'm like, we're going back to Madueke and Martinelli wingers, and I don't want that. like I don't want to see that.
To be fair, at least you got Havertz in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's not all just runners, but
I don't mind it as much, because then you've got two runners on the edge, and then you've got someone that can hold it up. But Havertz still isn't consistent. I guess Eze's there as well, so that's like a little bit better. I don't know if I love it though. I just think like I would probably rather him play Martinelli on the right and Trossard at left wing. I just think like
I would. I genuinely would. I think for this one,
I also trust
really
Martinelli off the ball a lot more than Madueke. Like I just do. And I know Trossard hasn't been great recently, but like I don't know, man. Sometimes he'll slow the game down. He'll do things. If Trossard will play, in my opinion, if Ødegaard doesn't play. I don't think he'll play both of them. I just don't like, they kind of do similar things on the ball in terms of like slowing the game down. And I don't know if we need all of that. I think he will play one of them. But yeah, I think
it's a game about balance. Like it's gonna be really interesting to see what he starts with. So I think whatever he starts with is going to dictate the game. Like I don't think it really. We know it's so strange. We know what City are going to start with. It might be slightly different where Shirky kind of comes out and Semenyo comes inside. Like we might see a bit more of that, or we might see it where Nunez is coming in and Silva's coming out, and like they might have different rotations. But I think in terms of like personnel, I'm pretty sure I know who we're going to be seeing.
I really don't know if they're going to press it. Well, they didn't press against us in the Carabao Cup. They sat there in a zonal block. I really wonder if they're going to do that again, because they kind of did that against Chelsea. And Chelsea actually got some success in the first half against them with this setup. Like, I do think it is gettable at, if you know before the game, you're like, okay, they're going to do this. We can counter this. I think, like, move the centre-back deeper, move your full-backs wider, let them carry into that half space, have runners in behind, like a Martinelli. I don't know if I love Trossard there, but like it's fine in that sense. There's set pieces here that I know, like our set pieces is another thing. Why are we taking so many short set pieces now? I've no idea.
It's really bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so I get it, because what it does is it puts your wingers in what is favourable 1v1s or 2v1s, and then to get crosses in. I'm sorry, our wingers are awful at crossing, and they're not even consistent on 1-on-1. So, like, I just don't think why we're doing it. Like, if we had Saka, I could understand it, but we don't. We're doing it with Martinelli. I'm like, nah, that brother's not doing it. But in this game, like Donnarumma against us has had a pretty, like when he played against us for PSG and at the Emirates, he was actually pretty good at catching from crosses, but he is flappable. He flaps a lot. That is something we have to try and get at. He doesn't come out of his box from corners or set pieces that much.
Do you think they could start with Trafford?
No. Donnarumma plays every Prem game. I don't think Trafford's anywhere near the squad in that sense. But I think also with their centre-backs aren't good in the air. These guys aren't great. Now, Kuzanov isn't that as bad as people make it out to be, because his aerial duels aren't one. Like, he's super physical. This, to me, is like where it comes down to playing Gyökeres and not. The biggest thing about these two centre-backs for Man City is they are physical and quick. Gyökeres is not quick enough, and he's not physical enough. Havertz might not be quick enough, but at least he's physical. Like, at least he can keep up. Like, that, to me, I saw Newcastle absolutely throw against Man City at the Etihad a couple of months ago, because they played Woltmade in midfield, and he lost a header to Kuzanov, which is like not on how, but he just wasn't up against that back line or not. When Havertz played in midfield against Bournemouth the other day, or whenever he played in midfield, he got 0 duels basically in aerials and physical, like barely any. When he came on against Sporting, he had 4 aerial duels to Gyökeres's 0, and he played 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever. Like, these things, like, he just has to be up the front and he just has to be pushing that line, because we are going to get
Mhm.
moments in this game where they do press us a little bit and we have to kick the ball long. We kick the ball long anyway. So at least if we kick the ball long and we've got Eze and Havertz in that attacking area, that's so much better. If anyone remembers, in the 71st minute, there's a shot we have against Sporting from Eze from just outside the box where we kick
Yep.
the ball directly long to Havertz. Havertz heads it down and Eze kicks it over. I watched that and was like, we just need to do that more. Like, if that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to, if we can't build up, that's what we've got to do more. So to me, Havertz has to start, and I think he will start Havertz. Like, surely he's not listening.
Yeah,
To this.
I think it's like you say, it's a massive. It's just a throw if you don't. And as I said earlier, I think Gyökeres he's done as best as he can this season. You know, he's not done atrociously. He's just not the right man, and he's definitely not the right man for the job on this one. He's just
But
not.
play him against Burnley, you know, you'd have a good time there. Like
Yeah.
I don't even mind him necessarily against Atleti. Like, I don't love it, but I think there is some ways you can make it work. Like, but just in this game, this is the biggest game. This is arguably Arteta's. I know, like, everyone says this, and then actually have like, it's like, this is the biggest week of Arsenal's season, yeah, and then like next week will be even bigger. You know what I mean? But like, this is the biggest game in Arteta's Arsenal career. Like, it just is, and he just cannot. Like, if you play a team that has got bravery and like Calafiori plays, if you want to play Ødegaard, if you play a team that makes sense, there's balance in it, and things don't go our way, I'm much more willing to justify the result. Like, much more willing to give him benefit of the doubt. But if he goes and plays this stinky front three that he played against Sporting, and we get thrashed or lose, even if we lose 1-0 and play that front three, I think the justification of him being our manager in the future, I can't justify it as much as I can, because it's just disrespectful. So I don't know. There's a lot on this game, like, just not only for like the players, but manager. Like, this is a big time for Arteta, and he doesn't always get outschooled by Pep, but Pep always does some weird stuff when it comes to Arteta in our games. It's always a weird game. Like, every time I preview it, I'm like, this will happen. None of it happens, because like, it's just a weird game. Like, so I don't know really if it's gonna happen, but we are definitely not the favourites. I'm not like ultimately that confident, but I mean, we have good players. We do have good players, and we are a better team than other teams. So
It's just so frustrating because they were scared. In the first match we played against them this season, I've never seen them in a block like they did. I've never seen Pep look devoid of ideas. And then the reverse, one in the final, it was just, complete opposite. We looked devoid of ideas. We didn't know what to do. But we'll find out. In terms of confidence levels, let's go on a scale of 1 to 10, mate. Where are you? Because for me, I'm at a 3. Like, in terms of getting a win, I looked to the Opta prediction things, and which kind of means nothing, but they're doing it completely off data, and they gave us like, I think, a 35% chance and a 37-ish% chance for City to win. So they're looking at it again, probably a draw, and they've got like a slightly better chance of winning than us. But our record there is so bad as well. We're not playing well. We're never good in April. Like, history dictates that we are not going to win this game. But if we can just get out with a draw, if it's a 0-0 draw, I'm going to do a James B. I'll probably celebrate. It is what it is. Let's have a look at what you guys are feeling, though. Evening, DW. Hope you're well, mate. And evening to the man, Alex Argyle. Hope you're well, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. And I will tell you all the sevens. There's definitely not going to be a Marino surprise, as much as he actually could be really handy in this game if we had him. 4.5 out of 10 says all the sevens. A loss will destroy him. Just Tom agrees. 3 sounds good. Like, isn't it bad though that we're at the point where we're going, probably a 3. Like,
Well, I mean, to be honest, like I'm always quite pessimistic about things because I like to be realistic. I've never gone away to Man City and been uber confident that we're going to get like a great result. Like maybe when we drew 2-2 there, like last year, like I was a lot like
mhm.
going into that game, I was a bit confident maybe. But every other time before that, even when we have been a very, very competitive, great team and we're playing great football, I've never felt comfortable. They're an
It's like
incredible
Old
team.
Trafford. Like
Well,
and
yeah,
even
it's
when we played our better, I always like, oh, I don't know.
But
I
I'm
don't know
just
about
not
this.
like I just like it's the same with anything. Like I can see that how teams are good, and you don't take things for granted at this level of football. Like these teams
Yeah.
are incredible. Anyone on their day can beat teams because that's the point of football. Like football is a joy. It's a moment thing. Like it necessarily tactics and all this is great and for consistency and long term planning, but. In one game, you never know. That's like if we get to a Champions League final, we're not going to be the favourites for that. And I am worried to play PSG or Bayern. But if we get there, I'll be like, well, it's a one-off game. Like, who knows what can happen? And we have to
Let's
take
get a
that
corner.
and we have to do that in this game as well. We have to take credit in the fact that we only need a draw. I'm not even thinking about winning. I'm just thinking about getting a draw, getting a result here. And yes, that still means we have to perform against Newcastle and all the 5 games we have after. But we'll get to that bridge when we get there. Like, just focus on this now and try and get a result. If it means getting a draw, it means getting a draw. I don't want to play for a draw. We shouldn't play for a draw. We should play for a win. But if things happen, unfortunately, then we're going to have to go for a draw in the end. I'm not like insanely confident, but every single thing that we know could possibly happen to us, I think has happened to us. The way that we are
Yeah.
playing, we know is not good enough. On the ball, it's not good enough. We know how City basically got at us in the Carabao Cup final. The first half we were really good in, but they still couldn't build up. And then the second half, they just got us more and more into that block. We know the problems that they can deal with us because we played them a couple of weeks ago. So there's things that we might make individual mistakes, and that could definitely happen. But in terms of tactics, in terms of that, all that stuff, Arteta will know what to expect. I'm hoping for this game, not like the other game. And that gives me a little bit of reassurance because, like, people compare us to Chelsea, people compare us to Liverpool, who all both got thrashed by Man City recently. We're better teams than them. We're better teams than
Yeah.
them. We've got better players. We should have more of a chance. So, like, I don't know. If they want to win this league, I believe that they will go for it and try and do their best. Like I want to come out of the game no matter what, feeling like we tried. You know, we gave it our
And
all.
we know City are gonna. We know City are gonna open up because they're gonna look at this game and they're gonna go, I think we're gonna have to win. Like they don't I mean, you know, mathematically, obviously they don't have to. They might look at it and go get a draw because Arsenal look like they're gonna drop more points. And we're on a really, you know, good vein of form. But it's so interesting. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the game because straight after the final, I was dreading this game. I thought, oh my god, like what are we gonna do? Like we're never gonna get out of there alive. So how are we gonna cope with it? Whereas now I'm like, do you know what? Like you said, like it's such a low scoring sport. And I've seen like Greece win a major trophy. I've seen Leicester win the league. You know, it only takes a moment. And if we can just, it doesn't have to be a good goal. It doesn't have to be like something like a perfect pass from Rice off a free kick. It could be the scrappiest goal bouncing off Jokeres's shoulder. I do not care. Like, just let's get to the final whistle, you know, to that last bit, just in the game. And then it's anyone's game then. You know, if we can just get the last couple of
if
minutes and
if we lose like 1-0 or 2-0, the the league is insane, to be honest. The league is gonna because if they win their game in hand, like depends, it's literally gonna be like very similar goal difference and
playoff final.
the exact same points. Like this is the thing. If we lose, I think people are doom and gloom about the way we are playing, but it's still like it's basically even. Like it's even and
Yeah.
even. Obviously, depending on like the goal
Everything.
difference. Like if they thrash us, that's gonna be awful. But like genuinely, if we lose like 1-0, it's not the end of the world. Like, but it's just so weird how like on the knife's edge it is. Like we do. I'm so glad we went out of the FA Cup. I wish we went out like in round 3. I can't lie, but I know we played smaller teams. Like I've been saying this since the start of the season. I knew that playing all these cup games would catch up to us. I didn't think we were a good enough team at rotating. And I'm just like they've got a semi-final at Wembley. They've got to play against Southampton. You know, we've got Atleti coming up after Newcastle away. And then we've got to play them at home the week after. Like, I don't know, man. This season's got a lot of twists and turns left. If we could just get a draw, I'd just be satisfied. Not sure if I'll be satisfied with a proper like 0-0 not moving draw, but like we did before.
I need a win. Don't get me wrong. A draw I would be over the moon with, because I'll go, do you know what? We've gone to the Etihad. We haven't got rolled over. We've got the title in our hands. And that's what we need. We need it in our hands. But I just want that Will Tour moment. I want that like over Mars moment. I want to be like, yeah. Do you remember when we went to the Etihad and then we went and beat them? Like, give me another Martinelli. You know, when he equalised right at the end, that little chip over the top, over 9-foot Donnarumma. Like, I need it, mate. I need it. Let's get to the comments though. All the sevens saying, it's so hysterical to see we're top of the league by 6 points in a Champions League semi-final. Yeah, we're so devoid of confidence in the team. Only Arsenal fans understand this pain. It's so true. Do you know what? I saw, I think that was on a Stick to Football thing as well, with Righty saying, I've put so much into this manager, so much time and all my energy into this team. And we just feel, and Roy Keane, who doesn't, have a horse in the race, he was like, what are you on about? Like, you're at the top. Like, what more do you want? Like, you could go and win this league now. Like, it's so funny. If you could look at it impartially, I think we have the weight of the world on us because of previous seasons and the 2 decades of not winning this league. And we're like, oh, no. There's that idea of, we all know this City team is not as good as previous City teams. We all know that. But the problem is we're all going, yeah, but they do have Pep, and they have got that goal machine Haaland, and they have brought in one of the top scorers in Semenyo, and they have got so you start going, oh God, a Ballon d'Or winner in their team, and so that's the problem. We all just take it so much heavier. All the sevens also said Bernardo Silva is a rat. He'll commit 50 fouls and then get away with only 1 yellow. Well, we've just had some, practice with that against Sporting, haven't we? With their left back getting away with murder. Rodri's really good at that. He's got the fouling gene.
I hate
and that's so annoying because that is what they're going to do. If we actually beat that that block and beat that 4 or 6 technically with them, they're just going to pull us down.
Yeah, but
and at the Etihad, they're never going to get any cards.
We do the same. We can't pretend we don't. We are literally the exact same. We do the same.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's we do the same. So the Liverpool and City might have started there, but we're very similar. I also hate when people talk about how referees in the UK are bad, by the way. No, referees just genuinely in the world can't do their job.
I don't think really coming around to that now.
I didn't watch one Champions League game in the quarterfinals where I was like, wow, good referee. I do think Barcelona and Real Madrid, more than any other fan base, do cry about these decisions. But
100%.
And they're like teams putting teams putting appeals into the UEFA. Well, they don't care.
When they
gonna happen.
Paid officials in the past.
But some of the decisions that went against some of these teams, 50-50s, were all going Atleti's way against Barca, and I was like, okay. Admittedly, I thought most of Sporters was going their way, and I was like, what is going on? And then I don't know. I watched so many. I've watched the last 6 games in a row I've watched have been genuinely just awful refereeing displays. I've lost all trust in them every time. If anyone watched the Sunderland and Tottenham game at the weekend,
yeah.
Tottenham got. I'm not gonna lie. I know we're Arsenal fans and stuff, but Tottenham got absolutely screwed over. That ref was awful. There was so many decisions where the ref doesn't see it and he gives it because the crowd's there. And I'm like, oh, bro, man. We're in 2026. If the rest can't do their job, we've got VAR. Why is it virtual assistant referee? Just make him the VR. Why don't you just be the ref? Why don't we just have a computer ref the game? I don't know. It might be better.
I genuinely would.
I'm done with
don't understand it.
People blame VAR. It's the people in charge of VAR that can't do their jobs because no referee. I don't understand how referees get the same book and they all interpret it in different ways. They need to sit every referee in UEFA in a room and go, is this a foul? What would you give in this decision? And make them all write it down on a piece of paper and come back with the results and go, what have you all said? And see the difference in it and go, right, this can't happen. This can't happen. You need to have more consistency. There needs to be difference here.
There needs to be accountability.
And
None.
And I also think, I do think, like, when people talk about referees, there's always this common divide where people talk about don't ruin the game and what minute the game is in. Now, I think all that's stupid. I always have think it's stupid because I think if you break someone's leg in the 5th minute, it's a red card. If you break someone's leg in the 50 minutes, a red card. Oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's early in the game. They're getting part of the game. Okay, they're professional footballers. I'm sorry. They're like, I watch.
The whole point of rules is that they're not called rules, they're called laws, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? The laws of the game. So it's not like it's the annoying thing is we have been screwed over so many times when they go, well, it depends how you interpret it. And,
Yeah, stupid.
and you go, well, no, it's not up for interpretation. We need like very clear boundaries of everything. So like a handball, like if it touches you, like in a set, is a handball. Like it doesn't matter whether you're like 10 yards away from it or 30 yards away from it. Like just make it very clear so that we can't have these issues. And the same, like I completely agree with you. It annoys Alex. So Alex on the different knot. I love Alex to bits. Like he is such a great person, but he is always talking about football being entertainment. It's not. For me, it's not. Because when I did my degree, one of the first things, it's a sport. It's not a recreation. It's an elite sport. There are billions of pounds put in. And the teams that get the revenue back, a lot of it is from winning. Like, I don't care. And if you're not winning, you're not getting the TV rights and you're not getting, like, people are going to tune in no matter what. If it was us and Atleti in the Champions League final, you're not telling me that, you know, millions upon millions of people aren't tuning into that. Of course they are. It's the Champions League final. Like, yeah, I don't care about the spectacle when it comes to the rules, as long as they are making the right decisions. Like, I just
what I will say is that, like, there is a bit, like I always say, like it's the rule book is like the rule book in some ways has to be clearer in terms of handballs. If it bounces off your leg and goes onto your arm, is that because that used to not be your pen and now it kind of is sometimes. Like they also like the last man rule is. But I will say, like, even when there is clear rules, people still cry and argue. Like the last man rule is a clear rule in football, but even now we get to the point where the problem is football is so vague. And I will say this, not just the rule book, but actually playing. If you went to 100 different fans and saw a foul, not all of 100 will probably have a different opinion, and that is a problem.
I say this about rugby because they're quite often compared. I'm like, yeah, but rugby is so much more black and white.
Yeah,
it's so easy to be like, oh, that's a high tackle. Okay, well, that's really clear. Like if they're in touch, okay, is a foot touching? They're they're
that's
in
why
touch.
I hate the saying that never a pen, because I'm like, well, if you asked 500 people that, they'd probably say it is a pen. So how can you say never a pen when people don't agree? Like at the end of the day, I think even out of the tribalistic ways that football fans are, there is actually a lot of ways where people can't really get like a decision. Like, and I do think there is some tough things. I think with stuff like handball, that has to be simpler. That used to be simpler, and now it just seems so more complicated. I think in terms of like them rules, I'm like, they've got to be changed. But I'm watching nowadays, like people get pressed and they get slightly some contact, they jump on the floor, it's a foul every time. But then suddenly the ref will go randomly for 10 minutes decide it's not a foul. It's like, how can you do that? Just give them all or don't give them, or depends on the situation. I watched the Nottingham Forest game against Porto. Ben Direct kicks the absolute hell out of Chris Wood 5 minutes into the game, and the ref's like, oh yeah, 5 minutes, we'll let it go. And then the VAR are like, no, you should probably look at this, buddy. And then they give him a red card. And it's like, well, like how is he was a foot away from it. How is he not given a yellow? Do you know why? Because he's like, oh, it's early in the game. That's stupid justification. And the thing is, it doesn't help when commentators and pundits go, oh yeah, but you're ruining the game. Who cares? If you make a bad decision, you ruin the game. I have seen now multiple times this season where a player has gone past, like Lacroix against Man United is a great example of this. Cunha slightly turns him, gets a little touch on his shoulder, jumps on the floor, red card and pen. It's like, what? That, like, to me, that is ruining the game for something that isn't that concrete. Like, I don't think that in concrete, that should be that decision. But that's what the rule book says. So at least you're being consistent, like, at the end of the day. And they've just got to do more of it. The referee, that 15 minutes in the second half where he was going mental. He kept saying everyone was diving. Havertz dived, and then Quenda dived. And everyone's like,
did you notice how he amped it up as well? There was one, it was with I think it was the Havertz one, and it was after Arteta got that yellow. which was absurd in itself. I was like, oh, like what are we doing here? But he really like went up another level at that point where it's like, do you know what? I'm not going to give you anything. You've pissed me off now. But I don't know. We just got to hope in this game there's a little bit of consistency and we don't have the Chris, I got no choice, Kavanagh, or anything along that line.
It's so stupid. Like watching the referees consistently go crazy. Like yet again, like diving rules never upheld because like if someone dives, they never give a yellow because they're like, wow, okay, we won't bother. Like I've seen it all the time happen. Like I don't know. There is sometimes as well where our physical game doesn't work as much in the Champions League because the referees are dumb. Like there's a time against Leverkusen this happened quite a bit, but especially there was a couple of times this happened earlier on in the Sporting game, more in the away game than the home, where Saliba's literally just like with Suarez, they're 50-50 and they've both got each other's things. Suarez doesn't even go on the floor, it's a foul. And I'm like, you've given him a free kick in a key position because of what? Like a 50-50? I was like, it's not a foul, just play on. Like in the Prem, they never
get that is like genuinely part of the game.
It's like where you're it happened, didn't they?
Yeah, like pinning the centre back. Like that's what you do. You literally wrap round like.
But it's just so crazy. Inconsistent. Like when we played Chelsea in the Carabao Cup home leg, there were so many times João Pedro probably did get shrugged to the ground. No foul given. It's like I just hate it how a sport at the highest level is determined by different referees per different game. Like I expect every referee to have some sort of inconsistencies because they're different people. That's fine. But they genuinely look at football in such different ways, like completely polar opposites. And I just think that like going into every game, having to consider a referee is crazy. So it's why I don't like boxing. I don't like boxing because it's like, oh, if I do this ref will like that more. I hate that. That's not to me, that's not what sport's about. Sport is not applying and appeasing people that are going to give you good points. It's about being the best at what you're best at. That's what I think about any sport. But I don't know. As I say, I don't think sport is an entertainment. I think at the highest level, it should be competitive. And like I watch Call of Duty and they have these arguments all the time about how the pros don't want to make the game fun for the audiences because they just want to be good. But it's like at the end of the day, like I guess it's a competitive thing. I guess it makes sense. Why would they care? Like,
mate, 100%. I mean, like I used to do MMA and like it used to wind me up when people talk about let and pray. And I'm like, have you ever done jiu-jitsu or like wrestling? And they'd be like, no. Like, okay, go for your first jiu-jitsu lesson and tell me how it feels. Because it feels like you're suffocating. Like it is, there's no other feeling like it. It is, awful. And especially you go with a black belt, like they can just do what they want with you. Like it's so emasculating. But until you're like, you've got some understanding, you're like, they have trained like countless hours to have this skill. Like, and you're just diminishing it and going, oh, it's not entertaining. Like, yeah, like the same as a striker. But the point is, if you cannot stay on your feet and strike, more for you. Like that it's as simple as that. Like the best is the person that can impose their game and impose their will. And it's the same in this match. We've got to come out of this idea of playing against the team. We have got to start playing our game, and we've got to do it. We're going to have to do it at some point. And I feel like we're going more and more along that lines of, playing against other people. In other news, though, some really terrible news. I will say this. Alex Manninger has obviously passed away. Terrible news. A guy that I can remember my first ever game at Highbury, and he was there, and he was one of the like few players like to kind of come over. I say few players, actually loads of them came over. They were really good at the time because because it's such a small stadium. But like amazing player, really underrated, like how good he was in terms of like we talked about Kepa earlier, but Alex Manninger was like ultimate professional, never ever moaned, never really did anything wrong or was always there. It's just, real shame. In other news, though, and we'll do this one to finish out because I know you wanted to talk about this real quick. So we'll do just a 5-minute segment. Arsenal have been linked to someone else, and it's a youngster. Not even in the Premier League. Not even in one of the top 5 leagues, mate. Do you wanna take this one for Monga?
Yeah, Sim Monga's been linked today. I mean, it makes a lot of sense in terms of how our recruitment's been going for our younger players. We've seen the Quintero brothers come in. We've got the guy from Ireland coming in, Ozavuna. So it makes a lot of sense. Like buying another youngster. He's obviously 16. He made his Premier League debut last year. He's like the third youngest player to ever play in the Prem. He's played on and off this season for Leicester. He actually has scored. He scored 1 goal in the Championship. It was a pretty good goal. It's quite a long time ago now. He's kind of come out of the team recently. There's been some injury problems. There's been some consistencies. And Leicester are obviously broke. So Leicester don't have any money. They're in the relegation zone. They got a point deduction. It's been going pretty bad for them in the Championship just generally. It's probably not the atmosphere and environment you really want a 16-year-old who's got this amount of talent to come through. But Jeremy Munga's always been touted as one of these guys that's in the category of the JJ Gabriels, the Max Daumans, the Rio Nagomas, like these guys, like these are names that I've heard for years and years and years. Like these guys, none of these guys are that surprising to me. Like they're getting touted this highly because they always have been. And Jerry Monga's like a wing, like left winger. He's a big dribbler, like great dribbler in tight spaces.
I remember him being compared to Vinicius at one point.
Yeah, he's a bit like Doku as well in terms of how he dribbles, and like Doku is the best dribbler in the world in my opinion. So he's not that level, of course, but in terms of like style of him going in and out, is just consistently good. He's a decent crosser as well, but he's literally 16, and Leicester are about to get relegated to League One. It looks like this season they're going to be in turmoil. They're going to need money. You could give him like 10 mil, and you've got one of the best young talents in Premier League, like just there, not like in England, like just there. So I would really want us to get him in. I think he's a profile we don't have for the future. I can't expect him to play. I think he'll be more of like an academy signing for now because he is really young. But he's got experience. He's played like 25 games at pro level. So, you take that for a 16-year-old, especially in England. So I'm very excited about that.
Like, yeah, because he's like quite pacey, isn't he? He can play right across the front three. Well, maybe not up top, but in that kind of more 10 role. It's got Arsenal written all over it, hasn't it? Like we brought the twins in. We've been going and getting more and more of these young players like Dixon and stuff. Like it seems that the club are making a real concerted effort to build up the academy. And as you said, like with them in financial turmoil, it just makes sense. Just like when are you ever going to have the opportunity of getting a player of that quality, of that youth at that price? Like most clubs are never, you're never going to get Rio. You're never going to get him out of Liverpool. And most of these players, there's, what's the left back at Chelsea called? Achipong. You're not going to be able to get him. So like, it's a one-off opportunity. Like it really makes sense.
You might be able to get Achipong, to be fair.
Well, that is true. But that's Chelsea being Chelsea, isn't it? Like I'd love to get him.
And also Rio was from Chelsea as well. They kind of let go of him stupidly.
How stupid is that? Is he on the same talent level as Rio? Like for me, I don't know enough about him. I wouldn't say so. I've always heard of Rio being like one of the top ones, along with like Dauman. But is he on that like kind of next level down or?
Nah, he's on the same level, 100%. It's just because Rio's older. So Rio's like 2 years older than Monga. Like Rio's like 18 months older than like Dauman. Even then, like I hate when like they're not even really in the same category in terms of like age groups. It's like comparing JJ Gabriel right now, who I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watching don't know who that is, but it's like an incredible 15, 14-year-old at Man United. Like he's insane. And he has always been touted as well, but he's just like a different age group. So it's just just get people to come through. Monga's always been really highly touted, like heavily touted for a long time. I mean, he started in the Prem. He played in the Prem at Leicester when they were getting relegated, like at such a young age, and like. You don't do that if you've not got like this talent. I know Leicester's a little bit like they're a bit easier to play for than teams like us, so I understand that. But now this guy's talent level is really, really high. His dribbling level is really good. I think he has real potential in pace and crossing to get him behind. But he seems to have quite a lot of intelligence, which seems to be the way that like these youngsters are coming through now. I think like it's so weird because you talk about like what they're similar to it. Like he's more like a Doku sort of style player. Rio's more like an Mbappe. Like I still think Rio like looks like Mbappe when he dribbles. He's just more of a winger version of Mbappe, like Mbappe used to be before he became a striker. And like, yeah, I don't know. They're all just like different profiles and stuff. But he's a left-sided player who's right-footed, which is something that we just don't have a lot of. Even like the Quintero brothers, I'm pretty sure one of them's like left-footed and plays on the right, and then one's like, I don't know if the other one's right-footed, but he plays like more catered towards that side as well. So I think we just need to balance the team out. But this guy's like really good, and like I don't know, like he's not that bad, and he's played good minutes in leagues and stuff. So I wonder, like, even if he came through for the academy, if he's going to be on the bench for a game in a cup game, I don't even like worry about him coming on. He's really good.
Could you loan him out though to like a relegated team, like like a really poor team like Tottenham? Could you next season? Yeah, it's interesting. Like I just looked up then the 5 youngest players ever to play Premier League, going, oh, I wonder if there's an opportunity for Arteta to be collecting all the stones, doing a Thanos here. But then I realised Harvey Elliott is number 4, and we're not getting him. And Matthew Briggs, who's now in his I think like mid-30s.
We could get Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott would be an easy buy. Surely no one wants him anymore.
Yeah, but do we want Harvey Elliott? That is the question.
He's all right.
He
plays on the right side, so probably not. We've got too many of them.
Right, before we finish up, guys, get your questions in the chat before we finish up. We've got 5 minutes left. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It has been a really good one, actually. I've enjoyed this. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I think there's a little hype button now. Guys, hit the hype button, see what happens. I genuinely don't know what it does. Have I even got a hype button? I don't know. Let me know, guys. Have I got a hype button? Have I? Is this something that I need more subscribers, Reese?
I've no idea. I don't stream. I don't do that really, so I don't really. I don't know.
Hype it, boys. Hype it. Let's go to Charles87. Who do you think will be our Overmars, Wilt, or Thomas for tomorrow? I feel Martinelli. I mean, in terms of like a similar profile, like as a Overmars, that would be Martinelli. But if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be. To be fair, it's usually someone random, isn't it? Like Hincapié. It was. Do you know what I mean? It would just be someone that you're not expecting. Like,
I would love for Gabriel to like figure out how to head a ball again. That'd be nice. I don't know. I feel like Havertz has something in him. I always do. He's just like, even if he plays bad.
Surprise me if it's Gyökeres. I genuinely wouldn't.
Nah,
Gyökeres on the break, random.
I can't.
Of like a moment, and you go, "Oh, do you remember that?"
I can't
like his Ferran Torres moment, not Ferran Torres, Fernando Torres moment. Like
I can't see it. I just don't think Gyökeres is that player. I think Havertz is much more likely, to be honest. I think. Yeah, I mean, I do want a quick word on Saka. Like, Saka doesn't look like he's going to be fit. I can't believe he even played the Carabao Cup final when he's injured. He might even be out for the rest of the season, and he played the Carabao Cup final. At the time, I said it was going to be stupid, and it was stupid. That is just poor management. What's the point?
All the sevens. Why did BFG leave? Now, I presume you mean the defender, not the actual BFG. In which case, thoughts, mate? Animated BFG or the kind of the new BFG? Which one's the better one?
I literally don't have a clue. I've never watched any of that. I don't know.
The original one, mate.
That is definitely not in my repertoire.
I don't know why he left. Actually, apparently there was
just a change. There was just a complete reshuffle with the backroom stuff. James Ellis came in and decided they wanted to change, and then James Ellis got sacked himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that because we had Wilshere leaving, there's loads of changeover anyway, so we're just changing everything.
Well, James Ellis said in an interview the other day that they're looking more at data now, and there's like I didn't really read it because I don't really care, but there's like loads of little things about why
they just doing that for ages. We got rid of all of our scouts anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's because we're in the Berta era. I think even Ellis said it. They're like, basically, Berta dictates now. Like, Big Berta wants this done. Like, they do it. Like, I think Per was good. Like, but like at the end of the day, we're signing loads of these like random youngsters from different countries. Is Per going to be the best player to develop them? maybe not. Like, maybe not. He's not maybe that guy. Like, he did well at the job he did, but it's time to move on. Like with anything, it's time to move on.
Let's get 2 more questions before we finish up. So, just Tom, I'm not sure I would put intelligent and Doku in the same sentence. Yeah, I know what you mean. He's a bit chaotic. Chelsea even let Musiala go. Oh my God, that is crazy, isn't it?
But Chelsea let everyone go, man. It's not, if you went through their academy, their academy,
Salah, like,
their academy is genuinely a top 3 academy in the world, and it has been for 20 years. Yeah, they just don't use it very well.
Let's go with this one from Syak. For first team left wing upgrade, who have you got in mind? Has the Leao ship sailed? I don't mind a punt on him. You don't spend as much money as was originally kind of mooted for him, but he has got such physical, like, he's just blessed, isn't he? He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, but he is nowhere near the player that was like player of the season in Serie A. But I don't mind it, but I do worry. But then we need 2 left wingers anyway, I think. For me right now, I'm just number 1 would be Kvaratskhelia, but it's just never going to happen. The person, like my left field shout, I said about him earlier, is Diomande. But for you, mate, left wing, your top choice, is it Gordon or not?
I still like Gordon. He's definitely still within the top 3 or 4 for me, especially because he's realistic. And every time I speak to people that keep going for the PSG wingers, I'm like, I think if we get anyone for PSG, I do think there is a slight chance we could get Barcola, but we have to push for him. And am I that fond about Barcola? I don't really know. But like I said earlier, it does fit the system, maybe. So maybe that's why you go into him.
I know George loves him. George absolutely loves him.
I really like to get I want us to get if we do get someone like that, I would love. I obviously we got the question about goats a couple of weeks ago. I've been watching a lot of goats, and I really like him actually. And I don't think, because one of the stuff I get worried about these Dutch league players is like, oh, are they going to be able to? Some of the things he's quite good at, I'm like, actually, I think they can scale up. He is quite versatile. He's a good carrier. He's a very good dribbler.
It's just that Eredivisie tax, though.
Yeah, but that also means Eredivisie tax is going to be cheaper signing. So
true.
He's not going to be that expensive, I don't think. Ajax are not great. So I don't know. I don't exactly think he should come in and start. But if you want to bring him in as an option, and it's oh yeah, and then you got someone else you've got in mind as being a starter, then I'm like, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I actually really like Diamante. I've always so worried about him from the Bundesliga because I was like, oh, Bundesliga tap. But genuinely, I've been watching him. He's so good. He's so good on both. The space that he gets, I don't know if we'll be able to get him that space because I just don't trust us. But he's so undeniable. There's some of the deeper play he does in terms of 1-2s, getting into the box, finding people in the box consistently with crosses and pass backs and cutbacks. He's so good at cutbacks. I'm like, bro, I would love him. I think Liverpool are going to get him, though. I don't know why. I just think Liverpool are going to buy him.
I hope not.
And if Liverpool do buy him, then he's clearly great.
We got Nick. Hope you're well, mate. Big up, Nick. Saka's injuries are concerning. Would a move inside to number 10 help? Wackles was saying earlier, maybe he needs to actually get 9 in the future. I think so. I think in Europe, I want to see Saka played more as a 10, simply because physically he just doesn't look right. He hasn't got that explosivity anymore, and it's quite evident really that the wingers in Europe that are doing best are the ones with open spaces and able to kind of get the legs out and go. But for me, I think maybe in those matches, long term, we've seen it with a lot of players getting them centrally in their when they're coming into the prime, seems to be the thing. The Salahs, the Ronaldos, and I'm not saying he's on their level, but it makes sense to me. And he's got the intelligence to play anywhere, though. We're so lucky to have him. For you, mate, number 10 or?
I think number 10's fine. I like it when we have a game state where we need to score and moving into the 10. I just think with 10 options, if you keep talking Ethan, Eze, Ødegaard, we've already got a lot. I know Ødegaard isn't really a 10, but I feel like we've still got. I feel like with striker, if we sell Jesus, I'm looking at Havertz and Gyökeres. I'm like, I'd rather him be up. Like the space is more there for him to be a striker, especially with the fitness concerns our strikers have had with Havertz, than it is midfield. But that doesn't mean he can't play midfield. I think midfield sometimes is great. I personally think, with the injury concerns, moving more centrally should be the first thing we do, just generally.
Yeah. Big up, Nick. And the last two questions. Is Rice the captain now? I think moving forward next season, I think he could be. Arteta came out and said, it was really weird. Well, I found it odd anyway. He said that the players had decided that Rice was going to be captain, Gabriel being one of them in Ødegaard's absence. And I don't know how much he said this before, like all the team voted and stuff. And I don't know, to me, it seems the more natural person. Like as time's gone on, I was always in the camp of Gabriel, but over the course of this season, I've looked and gone, actually, I think Declan Rice he is the captain on the pitch. He is that person. For you, is he, captain moving forward?
Well, if Ødegaard's still there, probably not. But yeah, I think he's a better option than anyone else to be like Rice and be in there when Ødegaard's injured. It was interesting that they gave it to him over Gabriel, but I kind of think we always talk about Gabriel being this like mentality leader, and one of the big reasons why we like him in games like City is because we're like, oh, he'll turn up. But he's just been so like his head's gone. I don't know what's happened with him because he's still like he's still good at the things he's good at. Like one-on-one defender's still been decent. His blocking is still incredible. Like individually, like his defensive work is like the Gabriel we know. But the mentality part of it, the on the ball stuff where he gets pressed and he just kicks the ball away, is so weird. It's just so unlike Gabriel to do. And I'm really concerned. I don't know. The last couple of months have been really concerning by like I've seen with Gabriel. Like he's got loads of just weird tendencies and like I don't know, man.
I think he just needs a rest.
Maybe,
I have a feeling he's paying for injury.
Maybe.
I think there's a lot of our players that are right
He had
now.
a rest for 6 weeks though, from December to January. He's played like less minutes than some other players. I don't know, man. Like his job, I don't know. His job isn't like that hard. I don't know. I think that like everyone else has to do a bit more. Like I don't know. I don't know if I justify that. I think he's just been a bit like poo, to be honest.
Final question from Syak. Would you take Vinny with 400k per week, knowing that it could disrupt the squad wage hierarchy? There's a lot in that question because wage-wise, I think 400k is a bit much. I think I look and go, well, you just made Saka the highest paid player, and I'm just not comfortable going that high. Maybe that's the old man of me. I always remember going 100k. Like, what are you talking about? And now we are getting into the realms of like insanity. But I think the bigger question is his personality going to disrupt the squad more? I know I mentioned Alex earlier, but Alex always says, if you're that worried about one player disrupting the harmony of your squad, how harmonized is your squad? And I do understand that to a certain extent, but I'm going to say this. I've been at a party. I've been at a function. I've been coaching teams, and you have one person turn up and the atmosphere just changes. Have you ever had that? And you're like, oh, I think sometimes it's underestimated how much power one person can have. And I don't know if the risk reward is, if the juice is worth the squeeze when it comes to Vinicius Jr. I think a couple of years ago it probably would be, but right now I don't think it is. There's not many players that I look at and go, yeah, I accept that. Because the other thing is, it's not just the off the field things and the way, like his attitude. And I don't know if he would get away with a certain things that he does for Real Madrid, like the pushing over, like, the Kimmich incident and stuff. And I think off the ball, you're not going to run. You're not going to fit our system and stuff. So can I afford to be paying that and letting you get away with more? I don't know. And Mbappe, yeah, like a Haaland, yeah, like a Vinicius, not for me. But oh God, we do need a left winger. For you, mate, would you take him, especially for 400k a week?
Yeah, why not? I probably would.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I don't really agree with the whole like disrupting the team. I think the biggest thing about disrupting the team is that like I think what people don't get is when people talk about this, I think it comes from a place of like if we sign a Nico Williams on 350k, at the end of the day, the players that play for Arsenal know they're better than Nico Williams. If Vinny Jr. comes into Arsenal, he's the best player. I'm sorry, he is just the best player.
I don't mind that.
Everyone would accept that he's on 400k a week because he's the best player. He's done it at the highest level. He's won multiple Champions Leagues, won multiple trophies. Like he is better than us, and we have to like. It's like Haaland's on 500 grand a week right now. I don't think any Man City player is sitting there going, oh, it shouldn't happen. I think they're accepted it. And is he even really Man City's best player? You can argue Rodri has been over the last years, but I don't think they're going to care because that's not really what elite teams think about. Like they just think about putting them players on that sort of money who deserve it. Salah's on 450k a week in his 30s at Liverpool because he deserves it. He's the best player. I think Vinny's undeniable. I thought maybe he wasn't as good this season. He's been incredible. I think every Champions League game I watched, I was like, yeah, this guy's special. Man City absolutely all over them. I'm watching. Yes, there is ways that Bayern Munich do. Real Madrid do help him play that we probably wouldn't do. But sometimes you are that like I said, I don't mind you not pressing when you're that good. And even if Real Madrid can accept that, then we can accept that. If he can be better for Real Madrid, and okay, yeah,
could Arteta accept that?
Well, if you want to win, you have to at the end of the day sometimes. Like, I hate looking at teams like Real Madrid and being like, oh, but if he comes to Arsenal, would he be able to? Who cares? He's at the biggest club in the world. Like he's at a higher level than Arsenal. Like just commercially, bigger wise. Like the talk that when Real Madrid play, it's a different level. And Barca, it just is. They are the biggest clubs in the world. And yeah, he is annoying. He's a bit of a prick. I don't particularly like his personality, but like I don't think any of his teammates hate his personality. I think it's like the outside thing. I think all his teammates love him, and they've consistently defended him. Mbappe and him are close. Bellingham and him are close, and he is really good. Like I don't know. Like I just in a year where I think mentally how I've watched football, watching Arsenal has genuinely been depressing. I want someone that is going to bring some fun and who's actually really good. And so I don't care how much you have to pay for that to happen. I've been all over that. I don't care.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, maybe I need to rethink it. Mate, thank you so much for tonight. Guys in the chat, thank you all. Honestly, it's been wicked. We have got a huge game this weekend. If you haven't done so, guys, can you all hit that like button? I know it's annoying. I know it's a bit beggy being like, hit the like button, but it does really help. We're on the road to 800 subscribers. We've got to get to 1,000 soon. We've got to get this channel up to 1,000. I don't know what's going on. If you are in need of more content, there will be the TDK Plus instant reaction straight after the game. I've got a tactical preview of the game coming out tomorrow, and there is just a normal preview of the game as well that went out today. Reese has just done some excellent videos as well. One class one about Havertz. Reese, where can they find you on X? Where can they find you on YouTube?
FOKLZ YT on Twitter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers with 20 off. So
come on, let's do that.
And then FOKLZ Football on YouTube. Thank you.
Nice. Guys, you'll find me on Forder on Footy on X, and you'll find me also on Instagram where I'm apparently digging out Gary Neville on the overlap. We will be back next week, hopefully after a monumental win against Man City at the Etihad. Have a lovely weekend, guys. And if we don't get the result, don't let it get to you too much. Take care, everyone. You guys know football. We just talk it. Forder and FOKLZ